hey guys, there's a
Right?
glitch.
Hey, we're here with friendly fire. It isn't like we did this for Bob Vu. I mean, what if we?
We appreciate all the love, everybody, for sure. 1,000. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for all the gifts for the show. Uh, y'all, let's have a good time. Roll with it.
So, Ryan, I got introduced to you, man, by falling in love with Chuck, a friend that you're closer to him than I am, but I'm definitely growing with him. I'm finding out what a cool sage he is, Chuck of Chill Chondros, and how he's held Lupe of Space City Chondros and Ruben of Centenario, and how he's just really been a mentor behind the scenes quietly the last 3 years. And so he reached out to you when you had some difficulties early on. And then now him and I have gotten to talking thanks to you. And so it's really cool to kind of get to know some of these people in this community, not just from afar, but kind of like be able to text them and rap with them anytime, you know? Are you still hitting up Chuck for advice, or do you guys just shoot the breeze now as friends, or what? How's that situation?
Both. I just hit him up. I talked to him last week. I was just on my way to pick up the kids and just called him real quick and
Yeah.
shoot the shit for a little bit. Told him congratulations on his clutch and everything. I actually had sent him some stuff today. We go back and forth every once in a while. It's not every day, but
Right.
it's at least once a week, I'd say.
Dude, he's busy. But between the house, between that finance stuff, being a New Jersey state trooper, and the podcast and his own animals and his own wife and kids. I mean, bro is busy.
Yeah, he doesn't
Thank you
stop.
for the gifts, guys. Yeah, he is busy. So I'm glad he makes time for any of us. I love it. He's just super down to earth. And I remember I was talking to Ruben in Dallas when I got to meet him, and he was like, "Oh, the people use the words, oh, he's a beautiful soul. He's just a beautiful soul." Not many guys go around saying some other dude's beautiful. So you really got to be something if you're pulling that kind of compliment, you know?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
he's a real nice guy.
Delivery's not done.
So when you got into when you first, I heard the story a little bit. Tell us, I guess, briefly how you got your first chondros. You said you were really out there on your own. You kind of just acquired them and took a chance with some were they imports?
Yeah, they were both imports. I got them from. I got them online. It's at a reptile website, and then I was living in the middle of the desert, kind of close to the website, and then I was living in the middle of the desert, kind of close to the website, and then I was living in the middle of the desert. There we go.
Yeah, I got it. I got Dread was echoing. It was Dread. So, how far away did you ship them from? I did the same thing. I bought mine. Mine's a Biak, but it was captive hatch, Indonesian farm, wild pureblood parents, but no lineage, no age, no diet. Photos look good. Price was cheap. That's all I had to go on. So, do you think? Are you happy with the decision you made? I have been with mine. Were you happy with your decision to start with your two chondros and take a shot?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I got my first one, and I had no issues or nothing. Got it from Florida. It was
Wow, that's a plane ride.
Underground Reptiles is who I got both of mine from.
Mm-hmm.
So got it as a Neo, and then about a year and a half, maybe 2 years later, I got a yearling. So my first one was a Sarong, and then my female is a Jayapura.
Nice. I do love. I love both of those localities. Sarong. I always kind of had a fantasy to cross Sarong and Aru. I know it's not that original, but I just I love what those two. The blunt bulldog head. The white flowerets, the blues, the aquas. And they both are known for sweet dispositions. I know every animal's got a different one, but mine's just plain old mean. So.
Yeah, my Sarong's not bad. My Jayapura, she's gotten pretty feisty.
Really?
After her clutch, she got real feisty.
Huh. Interesting. Well, I don't know. I don't know if mine's a boy or a girl yet. I know you can't. So let's talk about that. How did you confirm your gender? That's a really basic question that people take for granted. A lot of folks here that watch the show. I mean, we're ball python people, but I do these other two species as well. And ball pythons was actually my third thing. It was green trees, then rainbow boas. two things I wanted for 30 years. I've loved my whole life. And then ball pythons. So I did it backwards from a lot of people recently. How did you end up finding the gender on yours? Let's talk about that, because it's like a base level entry thing, and I could talk about it, but let's hear it from you.
Yeah, so I didn't know on my sarong. I bought it as a Neo. Had no idea what it was going to be. Didn't really care. And then it showed one time, and it had the two little plugs coming out, right?
Yep.
And I had done some research reading the complete chondro book.
Yes.
I was like, all right, well, I guess that one's a male.
Yep.
I didn't want to. I knew that I was going to get more, but I wanted to wait and see what that one was going to be.
I totally agree, and I think everybody. Would you say? I think that's the mentality. This is what I go with. When you get your yearling or your Neo, don't even. I guess I learned this from Gary Shavino videos. Don't even bother asking, well, how long is it? How much does it weigh? What's the gender? Which are typical questions from a ball python keeper, because none of that freaking matters. You use your eyes to look at the body composition of the animal. How healthy is it? You have to know what you're looking for. Nematodes, body weight, alertness, muscle tone, obviously clarity of the eyes and cloaca, but that's basic. But you're just looking at how's it feed? What's it eating? Those are the things you want to see. How's it just activity level? And you can't care about gender. You just have to put that out of your head for the first 2, maybe 3 years. Just let it go. Right? I mean, that's what I do.
Going off of hopes.
Isn't that wild? It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
They're like a Pokemon, dude. You don't even know. You're just gonna wait and see what hatches out of the egg. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's pretty
So
cool.
the sperm plugs, people don't know about that on the shed. So boys, you can confirm a male with the shed, but you cannot confirm a female because maybe the plugs didn't attach. You don't know, right?
Yeah, so I waited. Well, I bought my Jaipura from Underground as well, and they had it labeled as a female yearling. So I don't know how the whole probing thing goes. I'm still new about all that, but I've never really cared much to even try it, to do it, So I just waited until she was about 4 or 5, and then I was like, well, I haven't gotten any yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and go with this female.
Right. Enough time.
Yeah.
Extreme Serpentines, thanks for rolling through. I appreciate you guys doing naughty business every week. New keepers, and this week we're Green Tree Specialty. How big was that one when you got your second? For them to claim it's a female? Because, I mean, you can put them in a tube and 2 people can probe it. It's a little traumatic for the animal, but it can be done. It takes 2 good people and a good prober. Or, I guess, X-ray or ultrasound? What are the other methods that you could use that you think that made them claim that?
I don't know. I don't know what their method is. I don't know. She was a yearling when I got her. She had already gone through her OCC and everything, so maybe they just based it off of that, or maybe they probed her. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as they're healthy, you don't care. It's like having your own children, right?
That's how it was.
As long as it's healthy.
If it's about to be another male, then I guess I'll try again, But at that time, I didn't even have plans to breed. I was just getting them because I liked them.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until a couple years ago that I was like, all right, let's try to breed it now,
Yeah.
So
What did you do to introduce that? Did you cycle? Did you drop temps? Did you change food? I mean, you and I listened to the same show / shows, plural. So, I mean, what's your take on it? There's 10 ways to go about this.
I don't cycle food or anything. It's just temperatures. That's all I do. So tonight I'll start my temp drops.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah. So I'll drop 1 degree about every week for the next month. And then if everything's going right, how I want it to, then I'll feed them both and put them together the next day so they're not hungry when I put them together.
What's your temp nowadays? What do you operate at? I go 84 on the warm side, and whatever the house is, 75 to 77 on the cool side, and pretty much basically no heat at night, really. What do you run on yours?
I run 85 year round.
No night drop?
No night drop, except for breeding season.
Okay.
So,
Okay. And that's the beauty of this. That's the weird thing that people go, oh, green trees are so hard. There's no right or wrong. You just never know. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Put it at a temperature and see what they do. If they're staying under the heat the whole time, turn it down a little bit. If they're always on the cool side, or turn it up a little bit. If they're always on the cool side, and turn it down a little bit. I think if you just watch what they do, then it's pretty.
Yes.
It makes it pretty easy.
Read your animal, right? I mean, that's a big thing with these because you can't get in there and like, oh, I'm going to palpate or I'm going to. No, you're going to, even if it's a friendly one, it's still kind of traumatic to it, especially when they're younger, for their spine. So it's all about reading your animal. And I think you really, that's dead on, man. That's dead on. You don't increase humidity or you don't change food type. You just lower a temp. So 4 degrees once per week for a month. And hopefully at that point, they're no longer interested in food. Do you offer it? Do they sniff it and ignore it? Or you just stop offering?
My female's a savage. She'll keep going and going and going. Like, even after she let her clutch the very next week, she was ready to eat. She was going after it. So,
Really?
pretty much the same way. And I do the unconventional thing I know not everybody cares for, but I still feed them even though they're together.
Do you separate the animals or do you leave them in the same enclosure?
I leave them in the same enclosure. I get a little piece of cardboard and I put it between them and just go that way.
Well, at least you're using a divider, but you're a wild man, dude. You're matching that beard. You're matching that beard, pulling that shit off. Okay. All right. So yeah, a divider, that's probably a great idea. Do you have like 2 ready to go? Feed one with the divider, then feed the other so they're occupied? Because, I mean, one could be wrapped, and then this guy's going to come over and be interested in, like, God forbid, it bites and wraps. So
Yeah,
do you have, like, 2 ready to go, bam?
I'll hold the divider. I'll feed my female and then take it out, hold the divider with this hand, pick up the mouse, feed my male.
Uh-huh.
And that's
Okay.
it.
Cool. Right on. That, like I said, that's the thing about these. There's just no right or, I mean, there's some wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong. But it's mostly overthinking it and trying to make it, oh, I want a pretty naturalistic. It's so hard for the average person to pull it off. Like, only the really experienced should even remotely attempt it. I mean, this one behind me, I'll open it up later. It's a damn $18 Sterilite tub with a puppy pad, but $300 worth of thermostat and heat element on it. And it's $1.50 worth of dowel rod that I'll replace every so often, and I use the soldering iron to put holes in it. I mean, it's like cheap, but then there's expensive parts, and you got to know where you spend your money into.
Yeah.
And it isn't in the substrate and the fancy wood background and a freaking mister, for God's sake. That's not where you spend your money. And people get that, they want that, they think they're at a zoo. And they tell you, man, those people are master's degrees with 30 years experience to pull that off. You ain't just going to get a green tree and pull it off. You better do what the pros do, which is treat them like they're in a hospital tank until you know what the fuck it is you're doing for a long time.
Yep. I still have mine in PVC 2x2x2 with puppy pad and a heat panel.
Yeah. And it works, and they don't get sick, and they eat, and they don't have RIs, and you can monitor their poops and everything else, and they don't get impacted from substrate. And I'm a bioactive guy. I used to sell bioactive enclosures and isopods and breed them. I am 110% bioactive when appropriate. And that just happens to be, my rainbow boas, and I keep my ball pythons a little more human than a lot of people I think would. I keep them only on cocoa chip. I can't stand paper towels. I like it more naturalistic when I can. I have a 6-year-old Planet Bavarian with a Chinese water dragon, or not water dragon, Chinese cave gecko I never see. But it's like this little ecosystem, and it's 6 years old. And I love bioactive, but I've learned not to do that for green trees. So I think that's a tough lesson for newbies coming in because they want it to be pretty because the snake's pretty.
Yeah, it's not for them. You don't need all that. You're gonna have more issues with that.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it can't work, and I'm not saying it's not cool. I'm just saying.
No, but if you're starting off though, not the way to go.
Nah. No. So when you paired these two, we'll touch on this story. And I told you on the phone earlier, I didn't want to beat you up about it. You've told this story in your other podcast. In case you guys didn't know, Ryan, you did what? The Conjo Bar Room last Tuesday night?
Yeah.
I was sick as a dog. I caught it Wednesday. I was home from work. I did catch it, and then you obviously did where I heard about you, the Conjo Lounge, Chuck and Lucas show, which I love it. I mean, I got into all the Tree Tuesdays on MJ's show on Trap Talk, but now I really enjoy the Conjo Lounge a lot more. It's so much more informative, and they had you on as a guest early. You were like episode 3 or 4 or something, weren't you?
2.
2. Dang, big baller second in, huh? Damn.
So when Chuck was helping me with my clutch, he had hit me up and he's like, "Yeah, there might be a little thing. I'll let you know once it's finalized." And I'm like, "Okay." And then he hits me up after they hatched. He's like, "So we're starting a podcast. Do you want to be on it?" And I was like, "I don't know." He's like, "Yeah, you should do it. Let's just do it." I'm like, "All right, let's do it."
Dude. I mean, that had to be kind of nerve-wracking, wasn't it, a little bit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I would be.
What makes me nervous? Like, I don't know. I'm not a podcaster, you know. I'll watch.
You're just Jenny from the block, man. You're just here. That's what's cool about you, man. You're just down to earth.
Yeah, I'm not super knowledgeable. I'm not, like, I know what I'm doing, but there's a lot more people out there that know a lot more than me, and I'm just going off of what they say to try to figure everything out, So
Right.
It still makes me nervous to be on podcasts and stuff because I don't want to lead people the wrong way.
Right. Yeah, I think I think being honest about, we try to hardcore, is be honest about our knowledge ceiling and don't overstate like, oh, well, I'm the authority. You should. No, I know a bunch of stuff, but I'm also here to learn every single freaking day, which is the whole gist of the show, right?
We don't know anything, and we can prove it. Right?
Hey, you wanna while we're here, I want to hear more about this incubation story. But so we've talked about your pairing, your temps, some of your husbandry, the do's and don'ts. Cool. Let's see. Can you show us some of your animals? I know you may not want to take them out, especially the one, but can we see them? Can you take us on a little tour of them here?
Yeah, let me go get some.
Right on. Rebecca and R&R Reptiles, welcome. How are you tonight?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining the round table tonight. And
coming through.
Thanks for hanging out. Yo, absolutely. And once we get through, like I said, we get through Ryan's interview a bit. We'll just kind of all of us, you guys, Sam, just kind of run with it and show us your critters, give us your 2 cents, victories and losses, and just kind of give us a little bit of insight. If that's cool by you, is that all right?
Good. Yeah, I've got my green tree, one of my green trees in the rain chamber right now, so he looks all pretty for you guys.
Nice. Well, I sure appreciate it.
Super exciting.
Yep. And Rebecca, lovely as always. So you didn't need a rain shower, so there you go.
Thank you.
Don't worry, I'll tell Sam the same thing when he gets up there. So you're not special. I'm just kidding.
Sam, how's your audio right now?
The audio is coming through fine. For some reason, I can't get video. It says I need some sort of live access.
You have 500 followers?
No, I do not.
Well, hey, guys, go pick up everybody in the comments. Everybody pick up everybody in the boxes. Y'all know what to do. Support
How
each other.
close are you, Sam? Do you know?
I'm pretty far from. I don't think I even have 100 yet.
Oh, okay. Well, damn, I found you. I'm so glad I got to meet you. I don't want to talk to you more because I found him just through searching for the buzzword green tree python, and then I found him, and it's like I saw his stuff on IG. Sam's got some freaking heat, so
thanks. I appreciate it.
I can't wait. I wish we could see it, Sam, but I definitely want to hear your 2 cents if we can't see it later on this roundtable because you got some smoking animals.
Of course, yeah. Whatever I can say, I'd love to. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely want to hear what you got to say. There's my man. What you got for us, Ryan?
This is my female right here.
Ooh, look at the size of her. Look at that perfect skin.
Snake on a stick. Snake on a stick. I love it.
So yeah, she's
Go to the fair. Get a snake on a stick. Not one of these guys, but yeah.
Ryan, there's a job site somewhere missing that conduit.
Look at the blues.
Wow.
That is not a biak.
No, this is a Jaipura. He ain't happy. So I gotta
Wow,
watch it.
Super.
She's sizable. Is she the one that's a little snappier since she laid?
Yeah,
Oh, you're a brave man.
she don't like it. So let me put her back real quick.
Yeah, she is awesome. Look at that white belly. to go with
Beautiful
the
animal,
blue.
guys. Beautiful. I know those blues just look good.
Man, that's nice stuff. If you don't mind, every so often, moderators, just to try to remind people to get shares and likes up if we can. See how we can do tonight. Just every so often. I don't want to spam, folks. We've got a few new
Y'all share
subscribers.
this.
Thank you so
Get
much.
the, get
and
the likes up there. Y'all know what to do. We appreciate all the love, all the support.
and we're gonna make it a
pick up
mission.
everybody
Sam, to
over
get-
here and over here, and hit some goals. Hit some goals for him.
We're gonna get Sam to 500 because I do want to do some on these subscriber GTP kind of content. Like I said, I don't pretend to be the know-it-all, be-it-all. I'm just kind of a facilitator that knows enough. So I would like to, with you, Rebecca, Sam, if we get Kevin through here and our one other guest. What up, E? Thanks for joining, E. I would like to have some other collab content on these subscriber lives that we do at some point. We'll chat later, but that was what I was thinking. All right, Ryan, what you got now to show us, my friend?
So this is one of my videos.
This is one of your Neos that you hatched.
That I hatched, yeah.
Nice.
And I don't know. So he just barely started eating on his own last week, using button quail.
Yep.
He's been assist fed this whole time, and yeah, he seems to be doing good on the button quail. He just ate one a little bit ago, so I don't want to.
Being that they're more fragile, the delicacy of their end of their tail and coming off the branch, and tell us about your assist feed on that. Like, what did you do to kind of? I mean, it's different than a ball python where you can kind of manhandle them a little bit. How do you assist? What do you do?
Well, I'm lucky with this one. It likes to be held. So for the past 5 months, I had to hold this one before it would eat. He would not eat off of this perch.
Huh? Isn't that unusual?
So yeah, I was telling Chuck, I'm like, is this normal? He's like, dude, they'll surprise you. They do some weird stuff.
So that one's like your BFF, bro. You're gonna have to keep that one for good. That's like your homie.
Yeah, we named him Loverboy because he was the first one when he hatched. He just, every time you put your hand out there, he just wanted to be on your hand. So we haven't decided if we're going to keep him or not. We might give him to my buddy. He's been asking me for one for like the past 3 years.
Yeah?
Finally produced a clutch, and he's like, no, it won't be right. I'm like, all right.
Well, you know what would be cool is that you're not selling it to a stranger. You'll still get to like get updates, photos, talk to your buddy. Are they close enough to visit from time to time? I mean, you'll still be able to see that animal.
They're in Bakersfield.
Oh no! Really? He's up by you, Dredd. That's awesome. Yeah, that would be cool that you don't lose contact with it if he's so
Who is
friendly.
he?
That is unusual.
What's that?
Who is he up here? Who's the guy up here, your buddy?
Yeah, my buddy Dustin. He works for Edison up in Kernville, but he lives down in Bakersfield. So,
Right on.
What is it then? McLevy?
Right on.
Yeah, Dustin McKevley.
Okay.
He breeds ball pythons. He's the one that tried to help me with my first clutch. You know, I got about those. So yeah, he tried to help me out and tried to go the ball python way, and that doesn't work. Found that one out the hard way. So
Yeah. Let's talk on that. Let's talk about that. What do you think is what he's like after it went down? Your first clutch didn't turn out good, and your buddy was like, "Bro, I'm sorry." So, what do you now that in retrospect, looking back, what did you learn is different about a ball python incubation versus a green tree? Like ventilation, press and seal, temp. I mean, what was it that you think sticks out the most?
So the temp, I thought the temp would be okay at 89 because it says
Yep.
88 at on the complete chondro, you know. So I kind of went off of that. And he was like, well, I do him at 89. And I was like, okay, it might not be too bad. And then I was like, as far as an egg box, you know, like, what should I do? And so he was like, get some vermiculite, put it at the bottom, put the eggs on that, and then put some Preston seal, and then you gotta like burp it once a week or something like that. And I was like, okay. So I did that.
No,
and-
no ventilation.
No, it was Preston seal all the way around, and then once a week you lift it up just a little bit to get some airflow, and then put it back down.
Okay.
And so I was like, all right, well, I'll try it. And that didn't last long at all. I didn't get past like 2 weeks on that. And he was like, I'm sorry, dude. I told you I didn't know how to do those. It's just, I thought, you know, it's a Python. It might be the same. And I was like, all right, no problem. You know, thanks for the help. Try again next time. And so after that, I ended up selling my incubator, and I was just going to let my female incubate them herself. Return her
We got
lead.
somebody here that can talk about that. Yeah.
And no, she ended up leaving the eggs. So I came home, and she was perched back up, and there was eggs just laying in the egg box. So took them to a pet shop, and then Chuck hit me up, and Chuck was
Yeah.
like, go get those eggs now. Like, all right. So he helped me build an incubator out of an ice chest.
Yeah.
Then I went and picked the eggs back up from the pet shop and brought them back.
You're right.
It was pretty cold the whole time, so I didn't get too many out of it. I got 5 out of, I think there was, I don't remember how many. Yeah, I don't remember how many off the top of my head, but I ended up with 5 living. 6 hatched, and then 1 crawled out the egg and died shortly after.
Right. Well,
The rest of them, you know, as we were cutting them, a lot of them were underdeveloped or had kinks. So I think it's from all the movement and not being directly in an incubator. So
okay. Okay. So that was clutch 1. How long did you wait to heal your heart and let the season come back around? Do you pair it again there?
yeah, so clutch 1, they all died, and then I waited 2 years before I tried again, and that's when I got these 5. So
A 2-year wait.
yeah.
You're a man of patience.
I rested her for a year. I didn't know if I wanted to even do it.
Yeah.
This one right here is the one I'm giving to Chuck.
Oh yeah. Hey, we get to see Chuck's baby. Nice.
So, yeah, this one's pretty savage too. Nobody will hold it.
Really neon. They really come across as a neon bright yellow. Like very brighter than mine. That's really neon.
Yeah, so I had Chuck on the phone as they were pipping, and he's like, give me a call after they perch. I'm all right. So I gave him a call after that, and I was like, all right, dude, pick one, and I'm sending it to you. He's like, well, this one has the darkest markings. I was like, all right, cool, it's yours.
Nice.
And it's the only one that right off the bat took the food off the tongs. It's the biggest one. Gives me no problems, sheds. And I'm like, man, I don't want to send this one to you, dude.
This is my holdback, and now it's my giveaway. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just got one from Chuck. One of his new clutch. I picked one out of that one.
Did you pick one already?
Yeah, I picked one.
Nice. Yeah, I got to get him a deposit. We texted it earlier this week. I'm getting one of those as well.
Yeah, I gave him the deposit on Sunday, so I'm locked in on mine. And
Nice.
he's like, I
Great.
don't know, it hasn't shed yet. It's one of the only ones that hasn't shed yet. I'm like, well, if it doesn't make it, you're picking it out because you picked the best one out of mine. So
You know what? Let's just call it even. We'll just save the shipping, Chuck. I'll keep this one. You keep no.
So R&R is asking, what do you think the secret is to incubating GTP eggs? Or what do you think? Where do you kind of lean into from your experience? I guess.
For mine, I don't know because I guess it depends on what incubator you have. Like I was going out of an ice chest where a lot of other people go through the actual incubator. You know, I threw a $300 incubator together in an ice chest in 2 days, and so I think just having the right humidity outside of the egg box, having airflow because I put a computer fan in it. And just keeping it as humid as you can without letting the eggs touch water.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
That's
And
the
I-
hardest
you know,
part.
Chuck is going. He had 21 eggs. They look good. He ended up with 19 perched. The odds are great. You saw Sal over in London today, who I got to meet in Dallas. That guy was incredibly nice. Cryptic Chondros. He's a mon. That guy is really good at his game. And he had some hatch and perch today. He had what, 13 out of 13 or 16 out of 16 or something like that?
I want to say it was 13. I'm not sure.
I think so. And he incubated over water on egg crate. So that PVC leg egg crate over water thing, because I think I'm Team Orbeez, distilled water and Team Orbeez, I think is what I'm wanting to do. I put some air holes on the end of my box. I put just 4, I don't know, 1/4-inch holes, and I'm going to cover them with some masking tape or some some packing tape on it. And then as the box looks damp or anything sweating, I can control the holes without having to disrupt things by pulling off a piece of tape. That's my plan. I need to run it by someone like Chuck or Carly or somebody that's done this a few times to make sure that's a good mentality.
So
But I'm not
Chuck-
opposed to a wet tray in there. Ruben of Centario said he did a wet tray in one of his and he didn't like it.
Mm.
He went more basic.
I don't know. I don't know if it depends on where you are in the States or what it is. It might be different for everybody, you know?
Did you have a water pan or something in yours separate from the egg box?
So mine was a heat pad. Here, let me put these needles back real quick and then we'll go through that.
Well, he kind of brought up something like he's saying it depends on where you are. That barometric pressure, your temperature, your humidities, right? Depending on your location, your elevations, where you're located in the country. Yeah, that definitely can be a factor. I see that even with the ball pythons. I'm learning. This is my first year pairing up snakes. I've even gotten snakes, say, coming from Florida that I've had a harder time getting to eat, right? Versus getting a snake closer to me from different regions of the country. And I've heard this from other breeders as well, or people in the hobby. And that could be the same even with what you're doing, That's all these variables that you have to take into consideration that I think maybe people do overlook. They just don't think about that because each environment is different, right? Every environment is different. Your house is different. Your temperatures in here, it's...
Yeah,
I get it. Does that kind of make sense, Phil?
Yeah, I agree. Relative humidity is very different from area to area.
Right. Us being from California, if we went out to Florida right now, we'd be sweating our balls off.
Yep.
But all the people in Florida, they're fine, So, or even from Texas. Texas is a lot more humid than California is. So, I don't know. I think it just depends on where you're at. So, like misting, right? There's a lot of guys that are like, oh, I don't have to mist. It's humid enough in my house. I do a light mist once a week.
Yeah.
So, but it completely dries out within the next day. So,
What do you run your humidity at? Do you watch it?
no, I don't watch it. I give it a little spray. Every Sunday, I'll mist the cage. Just using a regular squirt bottle
Yep.
and mist it, I don't know, maybe 15 times. And then that's it.
What about, do you spray the snake itself or around it or just the puppy pad? What do you, because, Chuck went way off a deep end on that the other day.
Right. No, I spray my snakes too. They don't have an issue with it. They'll tuck their head, and then right after that, they're good.
Isn't it kind of weird how wet you have to keep them when they're really neo? And then after that, like, if you keep them too wet on their body, they'll get the blisters. Then there's like a balance.
I've never seen that.
I haven't either.
I'm hearing about it, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, I haven't either.
But I spray my snakes just enough to where they get like a little puddle in between their wraps, in between their coils.
Yeah.
They'll both drink that, and then it's done. It dries out a little bit after that, and I call that good.
Right on. So what was the incubator you got rid of that let you down at home?
It was the sea serpents, and I don't think that it was the incubator that did it. I think it was me, honestly.
It was the egg box.
Yeah, constantly going in it and checking on them and opening it instead of just leaving it closed and letting them do what they want to do. I overcared them.
Yeah. Okay. You're talking about getting the Wilbanks now, or did you pull the trigger on it?
No, I was going to, and then I got talked out of it. So,
What are you going with?
I'll get another sea serpent. So I just won't fuck with them as much as I did last time.
Okay. Interesting.
If it doesn't work, then I'll go back to the ice chest.
Yeah, I'm making one, and I don't know, it's mainly for the ball pythons. It's a little more forgiving. Maybe by the time because I'm a couple years away from having to worry about eggs, so maybe by that time I'll have some ball python income to where I can just go ahead and pull the trigger on the Wilbanks or sea serpents and just call it a day to get a really perfect one. The stakes are so much higher, generally speaking, not everybody, but I'm not ball python fancy, so not yet anyhow. So my stakes aren't that high.
Oh yeah, while we're talking about incubators, so I'll tell you how I set up the ice chest. So I had 2 heat pads at the very bottom with the light diffuser on top of that, and then I had 2 water pans on top of that. Hi, baby.
What are you doing?
I'm doing a podcast right now.
Oh, sorry.
Nah.
I love you.
Love you too, baby.
They're the best. They're the best.
They are. Where was that? Oh, okay. So 2 water pans, and then another light diffuser on top of that, with my actual egg box. And then with the egg box, I had water with a bunch of Orbeez in it, going up until about an inch and a half. And then I had more light diffuser with the PVC coming down, and then the eggs on top of that with a sealed lid.
Mm-hmm.
And then about 4 holes. At first, I had 3 holes on each side. I had like 12 holes, and I hit up Chuck, and I was like this, dude? And he's like,
It's like, no, that's too many. It's Swiss cheese.
like, no. And I'm like, oh, you want airflow? He's like, not that much. I'm like, oh, shit. So I got some electrical tape from work, and I'm taping every corner. He's like, just put 1 on each side. You'll be good. I was like, all right. So, yeah, he really helped me out so much. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was it. And then just a couple thermostat, obviously. And
What brand?
I was using my VE.
Yeah.
I had an extra VE, so I was using that.
You think you're gonna go to the Herpostat with the 1/10 of a degree adjustment? That's what I want to do.
Everybody's pointing me that way, so I'm thinking I'm gonna pull the trigger on that maybe in a month or 2.
I think when I do a Herpostat, I'm not even gonna mess around with a $200 or $300 model. I'm just gonna spend the $500 and get a 6-channel and run all kinds of shit and be done with it. Because
That's what I was thinking.
what am I gonna spend $200 twice and run 4 channels? Like that doesn't math.
Right.
So for $452, shipping ain't bad, and you have a 6-channel Herpostat, dude. 6 of the best. I love a 2-channel VE. I fucking love that thing with the night drop and stuff.
Right.
So I can't imagine 6 will blow my mind. I could run the world in here.
Right? That's how I feel too.
I just need some long cords. So you were. So now we've talked about the incubator and stuff. Are you going to change your substrate? Are you going to change your substrate or your method? Or are you going to go straight over water? Are you going to go back to Orbeez and take your improvements on? What's up, Jen? You're going to take your improvements on the obviously the first situation and then the pet store and not messing with it, do you think now the third time you probably, whatever, have a much higher success rate just knowing what you know? Is that what you suspect will happen here?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for at least. You never know. But I think that going back to the Orbeez again is going to be my method. And then
Yeah.
I think Chuck has a new way of doing his egg box, so I'm going to hit him up on that and see what he was doing.
Yeah, they were talking about, him and Ruben were talking about a $70 a specialty Cambro, like the certain Cambro. It ain't cheap, but you only need one. And
Right.
apparently it's the bomb. You just need
Yeah.
that particular. I don't know why that's better than a $10 one from Walmart, but somehow it is.
He said he only had to crack the lid once to wipe the condensation off. And besides that, it was good. Which, again, he's in New Jersey. He's on the other side of the United States than I am. So
Right.
maybe it'll work for him, and it ain't going to work for me. I don't know. But it's worth a try, I think.
I like bushcraft and making things and fashion and stuff. Do you ever think about like just a piece of acrylic, like so your lid? Let's say not a Cambro, like say a $10 tote from Walmart, and you've done the steps we've talked about so far. Would you ever think about silicone in it? You know how a roof of a house is peaked, but maybe less dramatically, to silicone in something the width of the lid so that when the condensation does build, it ain't flat, it can't drip, because the dregs can't get wet, but they have to be humid. It's this crazy oxymoron. So what if it ran to the sidewalls? Has anyone ever done that? Is that just me overthinking it and being stupid?
No, that's not stupid at all. I've heard of people putting stuff under one side of the egg box,
Yes. That's what gave me the idea.
and the water would run down. So, I mean, it might work. I don't know.
I mean, Punk Rock says he used to put cards under one side. Yeah, maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe that's what it really boils down to, is that I should just tip it on one end and that works. Like, why over-engineer it, right? Maybe that's what I need to tell myself.
Yeah, like we always say at work, kiss.
Right, keep it simple, stupid.
So,
when is your next pairing with this existing couple you have? You were lucky to get a boy and a girl in a 1-2 shot, so that's freaking killer. And I always tell people, so Krista, the Sunday night host of Trap Talk, her and I are buddies. She's getting the Chuck. I talked her into it. Because she loves that Chuck's the mom, the female, deep blue of his.
yeah.
That's her color. That's her jam. So she's like, if it can even look like that at all, I want it. So she's getting one. I'm getting one. You're getting one from Chuck. We're gonna have to get together for a play date. This is gonna be rad. So I talked her into one, and she would be one of the few people that actually has an inside track to do so. I think she's getting an MJ baby from one of his.
Nice.
Well, since she runs tech in the background as a host of one of his nights, she's one of the people that might have his ear. Because I saw he was running stories like, joking about everyone hitting him up for one. He's like, get the fuck out of here. You're not getting one. But I think she actually has a legitimate chance. She's going to get one. I said, okay, so that's 2. And I told her this riddle. I said, okay, you're getting dressed in the morning. It's pitch black. Because we don't know the snake's gender, right? And you get Neos. And you got to get socks out of a drawer. You own black socks, you own white socks. And you need to go to work with a matching pair. And it's totally black. And you're going to go to the bathroom and get dressed where the light is. So what's the minimum number of socks you need to guarantee a matching pair? The answer is 3.
Yeah, duh.
It could be 3 white, 3 black, but you're going to get something.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just going to do my repeat pairing. Out of this clutch that I just hatched, I'm not keeping any of them. Got one going to my buddy. I got one going to my brother. I got one going to Chuck, and then Lucas.
Okay.
So, and then
Lucas is getting one too?
Yeah, he had asked
That
me.
guy bought 8 of them in a year. He's a freaking maniac. He's like, yeah, well, it's not fair. I took my my retic money, and I'm buying that instead of like retic crap now.
Yeah. No, he had told me back when we did the podcast, he's like, I want one just for the story. I was like, all right, cool. Thinking that I had 5 altogether, and then I lost one like maybe a month after that.
Huh?
I had 4, and I was like, well, I already told these people that I'd give them one, so.
Dude, that's awesome.
That repeat pairing, and then I have that one coming from Ruben, and I got the other one. Drawing a blank right now.
That was my next question. What's your future? What are you getting? Tell us about what are you getting? Designers, locality outcrosses, or from whom?
I think I'm gonna just get designers. I don't know. I mean, do you count Chuck's as designer, or I'm not sure.
No, I think he calls it a blue line outcross. To be honest with you,
I don't know. I just know they're maniacs, is what he calls them. So
that was the last pairing because it was Biak and Manaquari.
yeah,
This particular, and he gets some reds out of those. This one, there was something I did never know, and Rebecca from R&R and I chatted about this the other day. They're starting to be recognized subspecies. There's 4 subspecies now. It's always been an argument for 20-something years in green tree world about is there a difference? Or are they just locality, phenotype? But there actually starting to be some recognized scientific difference, and certain ones, and I won't go into all the details because I have to refer to my notes and that'd be boring, would be some only throw yellow babies. Actually, most of them only throw yellow neos. Some have a higher percentage of red, and some are a mix. And depending on what locality you get it from in that region, you can't certain areas you can't like hold your breath for a red neo because it's just not going to happen.
right.
And so I didn't know that. I actually just until about 2 or 3 weeks ago when Chuck enlightened me, I kind of thought I was just a crapshoot, to be honest with you. And there's definitely localities that determine is it a red neo or a yellow neo. And what amazes me is people that are experienced can go. They can look at an adult and say that was a red neo. And I'm like, how in the fuck do you know that, man? How did you know? How can you tell?
No, I tell Chuck that all the time, and he's like, "Well, if you look at this," and I'm like, "I don't see it, dude. I don't know. Maybe I'm not trained for it."
I've just
Oh.
gotten there where I can kind of start to see it a little bit.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm not there at all.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah,
I look at the eyes. I look at the eyes.
yeah, and that's what I thought too. And Chuck's like, "No, not always. You got to look at the diamonds." And I'm like, "Okay, I have no idea. Then you got me." And he's like, "The color will be on the outside, or the color will be on the inside." I'm like, "I don't see it, dude."
I think it was one of Bill Stiegel's, one of his amazing ones from Jaeger or Sickness that was really melanistic, teal, yellow, and mint green, calicoed, but it kept its red eyes into its yearling and beyond. And I was like, oh my God, a melanistic one that keeps its red eyes. Like, that is everything. That's like amazing.
Right. Yeah. So like my song,
25, let's go do the sprinkler. 25K.
Dred's our resident dancer and hype man over
Hey,
here.
I'll get up and dislocate a hip, throw a spleen out, pop it, lock it, drop it,
I like it.
Come on, guys. Get some questions. Field us some questions, y'all. Come on.
Dude, that's Franklin.
Let's get the support up here. Yeah, dude.
So tell us these Neos you're getting. Are you getting one of the Cyclops
Hey, what about this?
from Ruben?
Yeah. So I'm getting one from Ruben. Probably next month, and then because he's down in Mexico right now, so I gotta wait till he gets in here. And then I'm getting the. Why can I not think of it right now?
You're getting another red one, ain't you?
Yeah, from who we've talked about it, and I can't. I'm drawing a blank right now.
Well, if you guys are having finger cramps from tapping that screen, get you some Dickens cider.
Is there any locality more likely to get the blue color or luck of the draw? That's a good question.
There we go. That's a good question.
Maybe Sam might know. Ryan, what's your thoughts on that? Is there any locality gets more likely to be blue? Manaquari?
Yeah, or Jayapura, Cyclops, the Highland ones, from what I understand, are the ones that have more of the blue.
I have heard that in the shows. Yes, more mountainous, more northern Papua New Guinea is more likely to have more blues, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
think,
then again, you could put two blue snakes together and just get a regular green snake. You never know.
It's like a box of chocolates.
yeah.
That's right. Okay, so you're getting a second red one. I can't remember from who. I know we talked about it. Damn. Oh, it's Lupe.
Lupe, there you go. Okay.
That's what it is.
Fuck, man, I'm drawing a blank, and I talk to him almost every week.
Really?
So I'm getting one from his second clutch that he had.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was so new. He's got 3 clutches, and that second one is just fire. They were calling him Rookie of the Year, not just new breeder, but like Clutch of the Year with that second one. So you're getting one out of those?
What's that?
You're getting one out of that Clutch 2 from him?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Space City Chondros?
Oh, okay.
Lupe? Yeah.
We got one about lime breeding down here. Is that a thing with the green trees?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know too much about all that. Maybe R&R can dive into that because I don't know too much about it.
Yeah, they
asking
asked,
questions.
can lime
Exotic
breeding-
A1 Pets had a good question.
Yeah, can you lime breed like ball pythons or just long-term pheno breeding?
So, from what I've heard, I've seen a couple people do it, and they've had good results with it. As far as I know, you were talking about this a little bit earlier, as far as like being able to tell like the snake what color it was like as a neo. And stuff like that. I know somebody just did, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think who it was. They just did a comparison, right? They put about 6 of the same siblings all together, and you can see like which ones were the red and which ones were the yellow neos, right? And because they all had different undertones, you know, the darker greens were the red neos, and the lighter greens, like the more mustardy greens, were the yellow neos. So you can tell with that. As far as line breeding, I've seen a couple people do it, and they've had really good results. But I don't think there's enough information on it to say that it's a for sure thing. You know what I mean? That's for sure going to give you what you want. You know what I mean? I mean, with green trees, there's such variety when you're breeding that it's just, to me, you never really know what you're going to get. Like Constrictly said, it's like a box of chocolates. So you're never really going to get what you want, but you might get something that is exactly what you want, and it's 1 out of 16, 13. You know what I mean?
You
Or
can't
85.
always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, you just might find. You just might find.
I
You
mean,
get
I've
what you
seen a couple people-
need. What's up, Avante? Thanks for joining in, buddy.
Hey, Bonte!
So you got some freaking heat, dude. That's awesome. I'm jealous. You're getting a pure Cyclops, which U.S. captive bred is really rare because everyone outcrosses Cyclops for some of their traits. So lots of white flowers, red neos, blunt, wide head. So, and just rarity. Cyclops is so people ask, why do you call it a Cyclops? Well, it's a mountain in western Papua New Guinea. It's a very small locality, so not much is collected from there. And it's also, if you read Greg Maxwell, I have. I mean, I kind of fanboy over him. I couldn't believe when he followed me back on Instagram. I've chatted with him some. I read his book cover to cover too. And Carly had cautioned me of Coastal Morelia, like, well, some of that is a little outdated, so take it with a grain of salt. And that is true. But dang, what a great foundation to start with. And I love that guy. I really want a hard copy book autographed by him before it's too late. I do. I think he was rad. He did so much from the mid '80s to the early 2000s, like just to pioneer where we are now. It was so super cool.
Yeah.
So not many people do the Cyclops, so that's cool. You're getting a pure one. That's really neat. And Lupe's stuff is straight fire. He said he's never bought a locality, is what he said on the show. He said I've only bought designers, and I'm like,
Bragger.
right?
Yeah.
Exotic A1 is asking, what locality is the lemon tree?
Huh.
And those are the ones that are more prominent to stay yellow and green?
Lemon Tree is a specific bloodline that goes back to the 80s and 90s, and people chased it for a long time. And it is not a yellow Neo, not to be confused with it. It is strictly on bloodlines. So people keep green tree pythons at this upper level like people keep show dogs and racehorses. You keep track of lineage, who's the parents. They got a bunch of funny names. There's documentation. There's family trees. And if you don't have real lemon tree background, you ain't got a lemon tree. That's really rare. It's a $10,000 plus snake. Good luck. And they're not made very often. There's a lot of hit and miss. There's a lot of misses and very few hits, even with the bloodline in it. You'll buy a lemon tree blood snake just so you can breed it and maybe have a shot at it again. Lemon trees are very specific. That clean high yellow as an adult is not. You could get a calico from Bill Stiegel easier than you get a lemon tree.
30K, guys, 30K. Woo!
Yeah, carpet people. Yeah, I love.
We'll do a tree
carpets,
shaker.
but-
A tree shaker. A tree shaker, Jacob. A tree shaker.
Who's the tree shaker?
Who the tree shaker? You know, Troy. Tree shaker, Jacob. We got a tree shaker.
I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Are you okay, Dred? Are you having a stroke?
A gator shaking a tree. A tree shaker, like or an earthquake. A tree shaker.
That's
We get 30K. I got to do something silly.
I thought you were having a little earthquake over there.
I
or
thought
a
I was having
medical
season out.
emergency.
Dread season out over here.
There it is. That's what I thought happened. Okay.
Louis got clean.
I see he's pretty. Don't pick him up.
Look at Louis, guys. Louis got a bath.
Louis got a bath.
Woo, Louis. Woo.
Right on. So now
Let's go.
this is going to take a couple years to grow up. You're going to keep working your pair. We talked about your breeding plans. You know, with basic husbandry. I'm hoping on my subscribers that we're going to do some. I know you're not on TikTok, but if you ever want to join, man, I don't know if you ever got some time to do just to chime in, so people that do have questions or want in-depth answers, or watch care, or watch your assist feeding for a snake that's so different. Yeah, you said you're kind of out of the woods on that, but if that happens to come up again, to be able to kind of see that it's very different than a ball python. So if you ever want to hop on the guest account I don't know when I'm gonna do them yet, but I'm hoping to get with people like Sam and Rebecca that we can kind of have more than just me, because like I said, I'm not an expert. I know a bunch about stuff, but I'm not a seasoned expert, and I don't want to come across as arrogant and that mislead people. And I think you touched on that early on. And I think together, collectively, our knowledge is better together, because we can all talk about our experience and say, well, I know how this failed, or how this worked, or this did for me or did for my buddy. So I think that's really good for the people coming up. And so, I mean, if you ever want to, man, you could definitely always hop on the guest account. No pressure, but offer statements at any time at some point. Let's just check you out. Hey, next Thursday, we're going to do something. If you're free, you're free. If you're not, you're not. But
Yeah.
I love it. I love the sharing of knowledge. So cool. All right, Rebecca, what you got for our man here? She did a maternal incubation.
What do you mean? I don't know.
Questions. Free snakes.
What happened?
You got any questions? Free
Okay.
snakes to send him.
Free snake?
I'm trying for you, Ryan. I'm trying. Okay.
I like it.
Now, didn't you do a maternal incubation recently?
So I didn't do a maternal incubation. I got a male from a close friend of mine locally. He's a really amazing snake. He's got really nice blue siding, really nice melanistic speckling and everything. He's like a snake I've been dreaming for quite a while now. And he was the sire for a clutch recently, which I have a holdback baby for myself, which may not be a holdback soon. But he was paired with a Maniquari female from Gary Chavino. and that was a maternal incubation. And what's interesting enough, what ended up happening was 6 of them hatched, and all the yellow neos didn't make it, which is very interesting to me. And
That is
all the
weird.
red neos did, which is very interesting. So we got, I think, 4 in total red neos and then 2 yellow neos. I didn't do the incubation myself. My friend did it and everything, but it was definitely a process, and it's definitely something that I'm going back and forth on if I'm going to do a maternal incubation or not. I just want to go with something that's going to give me the most success in the end. I think that's basically the big thing about choosing is with maternal incubation, there is success, but there's also, you lose typically more eggs than you do with normal incubation. But I think with incubation, if you do something wrong, then it's on you. So I think
Yeah.
that's the big thing there.
And in Ryan's case in point, you do something wrong, you lose all of them. Whereas maternal incubation, you
Exactly.
might end up with 3 or 5 and lose 10. So let's talk about the odds. I think the ball python folks, and we have a lot of them. We live in a lot of ball python communities on here, and a lot of the people that tune in are very experienced with it. So you have generally an average of 6 eggs. Could be 4, could be 10. Hell, I know people with 12 and 13 clutches, really high. But pretty much most all of them make it. I mean, you might lose 1 egg, but generally, if you got 6 eggs, you got 6 babies for the most part. Not it's not guaranteed, of course. But what about green trees? I mean, people may not know that you have 15 eggs, and you're lucky. So the easiest part, and Ryan, see if you agree, getting them to mate and make eggs is not that hard. Getting the eggs handled properly in the incubator, taken care of for the incubation cycle properly. And then the worst part is getting the neos thriving on a perch and thriving and eating on their own. That's actually the hardest part of the whole thing. And from my understanding, so anybody chime in, but do you think that if people knew if you had 15 green tree eggs and you're like, oh my God, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, and you sit here and start counting your chickens before they hatch and adding up the math, when you end up with 3 or 5 babies and go, oh man, that was my retirement, you can be pretty disappointed and discouraged. So it is not, the odds, the stats, they're way different in a ball python. Do you think incubation in an incubator artificially increases those odds, or is it just a different, do you think one or the other is better, and for what reason? I saw some comments earlier, so that's a question.
I have no idea.
I think incubation's better myself. I think if you do it right, you're in total control. Yeah, you got 15 eggs, but you got 10 or 12 babies that make it. Hell, that's way better than 5.
If you do it right. I don't know. That's the thing is like, with maternal incubation, what to expect is definitely expect to lose some, because that's just how it is with maternal incubation most of the time. I've seen some people get a whole clutch, but that's really, 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 really hard to do and really uncommon. So, I mean, I think the best way if it's just starting out, like me, I've been working with green trees for quite a while, but breeding wise, I'm just getting into that in itself. And working with a good mentor that's willing to kind of guide you in that process is definitely the big thing. As far as normal incubation.
Yeah.
Incubating, if you're willing to lose a little bit on that, and you want to go that route, that's definitely an easier route as far as work-wise. But like he said, his female got up and perched, and that was the end of it. Now you have to have a backup plan.
Right.
Yeah. Somebody asked, does the true conduit eggs have to be adjusted to temps after a certain period of time? That is a long topic of debate, just like most things in the green tree community are. So there's what's called straight bake. I'm going to go 86 or 88 degrees the whole time. I don't touch it. And I'm going to go for 52 days. That's my goal. And it might be 49, it might be 54, but we're going to watch and see who pips first and then cut the rest. But then also, some people do adjust. Some people go 45 days and then drop a degree and then or 2 degrees, one or the other. 2 feels dramatic, but Lupe had success. You said he dropped 2 degrees at the end. So you go 45 days and then drop a degree or 2 for the last, let's call it a week. That is a method. Both work. Which works for you? I don't know. I ain't done it. But all I know is there's a straight bake school and then there's a school of drop for the end. What do you say, Ryan? What do you hear?
I think it just depends on where you're at. Because, like, my incubator obviously didn't hold heat as good as, say, a sea serpent's incubator, right? I'm strictly going off of a nice chest incubator. So when mine were, I'd say about 3 weeks out from hatching, my temperatures out here in California were going 61 day to 85 the next day, then dropping down to 80, going back up to 90, and then dropping back down to 60. It was like, in March was crazy this year, and it just was never the same temperature. So with that happening, the temperature inside the ice chest was fluctuating too. So I'm just going through every day. I got to go up a degree. I got to go down a degree, right?
Wow.
But then also, my egg box was big enough to where when my eggs were starting to dent and get ready in that last week, I didn't have temperature rise.
No?
I didn't have any temperature rise. I just had to go off of whatever the temperature was in the whole ice chest itself.
Yeah, talk about that. I think that kind of figures into that other question. Do you drop that last week a degree or 2? And what's the impetus for that? Because the temperature from the eggs goes up in the last stage of development, right? The whole thing gets a little warmer.
That's where everything explodes, as Chuck likes to say. And if you have a small egg box, all of that going on inside the eggs heats up. All that body movement and body development heats up the eggs, which is going to heat up the egg box. And if you don't drop for some people, then you end up basically losing the clutch from what I've heard. I don't know. So I didn't experience that, you know. So I'm not sure.
Right on.
So yeah, I just did 87 the whole time.
You were 87 straight bake.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I had to work with it, you know, go up for part of the day and then drop it back down. But I didn't have a thermostat inside the egg box. You know, I just had it inside the ice chest itself.
Hey, the secret to this is get you a little shake and bake, okay? Shake and bake guy. Look, for real though, for real. I got an incubator right there. Feel free.
Yeah, if you need a backup incubator, see, there's
I got an incubator. I'm about to probably put together another one, a smaller one. So if I come across something that can do that, and you need something, then maybe I can get it to you or whatever. You're close enough.
And let me tell you, Dread won't charge you half the clutch like that damn shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're good.
All right. Hey, so Rebecca had some of your snakes in the rain chamber, which sounds like. Tell me about that. You got some animals you want to show us? People love animals on screen.
Yeah, let's see that rain chamber.
So I'm going to do a little explanation on a rain chamber before I go into that.
Okay.
So I spoke with an emerald keeper a little while back because I was getting some emeralds and things like that. And I was told by her and a couple others that rain chamber with emeralds is a necessity. You have to have a rain chamber with emeralds. And I had never personally heard of that. They told me they can survive without it and do well without it, but if you want them to thrive and do really well with breeding, etc., you need to have a rain chamber. So now I have a green tree that is an undocumented by a guru. He came to me about 7 years ago. He was my first green tree. You guys have seen him. Constrictly has seen him. Dreadnought, I think you've seen him. He was my first green tree, and his whole life has kind of struggled back and forth with RIs. We did a panel on him. He came back just chronic for RIs. So we fought with him back and forth quite a bit, trying to get him to a place like he likes it. And taking her advice, doing rain chamber before every meal, and also doing rain chamber when he just seems a little bit off, or like with an injury or anything that kind of just throws him off a little bit. To put him in the rain chamber, it perks him back up. I've never seen him eat so well. I've never seen him pass poot so well. And he's just kind of perked up ever since. He's just a weird snake. So let me go grab him real quick. He just got done with rain chamber. So you can purchase a rain chamber. You can make one yourself, or you can just use your shower. You should use your shower at 92 degrees. Make sure the water's 92 degrees. Turn off the light, close the door, let it get really humid up in there, and they'll let you know when they're ready. I usually like to have a perch in there, one right on the water, one up above the water, and then let them kind of do their thing. Once they kind of come away from the perch under the water, or just kind of show that they don't want to be there anymore, my friend's rain chamber is set up where they can come in and out of it as they please, and she's had her snakes go in and out of it weekly, very often, and they kind of do it at their own pace. So let me go get them real quick, but that's how I do my rain chamber, because I haven't made one myself. I'm going to, but I do mine in the shower. Let it soak that humidity, and he does really, really well. So let me go grab him real quick, and I'll be right back. And then I'll show you my designer that I just picked up.
Nice. I'll show you
Exotic
guys my
one.
Biak. While we're doing this, I don't know the gender, but going in the shed, kind of goes slow. I estimate this to be maybe, Ryan, get your eyes on this. Maybe you might know an age, given the size of this thing. Now, I like to feed. I'm not an Italian mom, but I feed like one. So if it'll eat it, this thing can eat like a weaned rat sometimes. I mean, I give them, and I don't baby them. I give her. It's a little monster. This thing's a demon when it eats. So I'll give it small meals, bigger meals, frozen meals, live meals. I switch it up. It's about to start getting quail and mice, not just rats. So this one's mine. This is my hand. I have a fairly large hand.
I see your hand.
Yeah, let's see the snake, not your hand. Come on, Naughty, come on. There we go. Y'all, this is a homemade setup, Constrictly put together. Y'all can do this as well. It's working well for him. He could probably get into that, too, on how he put this together.
Yeah, I used custom cheap panel of styrofoam insulation from like Home Depot, and it's attached to the outside on 3 sides of the cube to help stabilize insulation. So it's not just, I don't just have black back there. It's actually black contact paper with insulation on the outside of this box to keep it more stable. It's a Vivarium Electronics heat panel. That is a 40 watter with the VE thermostat. But you can kind of see the size of the coils there, Ryan. I estimate this one to be maybe a little over a year old. Watching yours grow, what do you think, size-wise?
Maybe about a year. I don't know. It's hard because they're all going to be different sizes. You can't really go off of the size.
They'll grow at a different rate depending on your feed.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's a beautiful snake, though.
Yeah, wait, just too bad it's in shed because it's way more yellow than that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful snake, though. It's a beautiful animal, Constrictly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that white speckling's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's even some in photos you can zoom in. There's even some mauves and pinks and like blue, like steel blue purplish along where its black diamonds used to be.
That's awesome. It'll be cool how he looks when he goes through that change.
Yeah.
It's slow, but yeah, it's cool. And people used to really crap on Beox, and I kind of thought that going into this, like, oh, that is the cheap Beox. Now I've realized from people like MJ and Carly and people that do designer stuff, they're actually part of the secret sauce with nicer, air quotes,
What do you-
localities.
What do you
Yeah,
got
you
there,
too.
girl? Put her in the big box.
There you go.
So this is my undocumented male right here. As you can see, he's kind of got this like bluish going on.
Yeah.
He originally thought it was UVB burns when we got him. However, I haven't in 7 years had UVB or any sort of UV on him, and it hasn't changed. I don't really know what it is. We were trying to prove it out for a while. And this year will be our first year really proving it out because I finally got a female to pair him with. But yeah, so we've been fighting back and forth with him on this. Panel on him had a bunch of really well-known breeders take looks at him and tell me what they thought. Everybody said they thought it was UV, and then I met up with a friend. He's also a really well-known breeder. I'm gonna have to find his info again because I don't remember. But he ended up sending me a picture of a blackout cross that he had, and it had very similar blue patching like mine. And he told me that he was also trying to prove his out because his was in a very sterilized environment, very professional environment, like every other one of his green trees. And for some reason, that one, since it was in the air, had changed. Really interesting. So we'll see what happens. We're trying to figure it out currently, but yeah, this is him. This is Pickles. He's my first ever green tree ever. He's giving me a lot of hell, but he's, as you can see, a really chill snake. He's an amazing snake. And
So friendly. I love that.
I know I wouldn't trade him for the world, even if he wasn't a cool snake or anything. He's the guy. So
That is awesome. That is awesome.
It is.
And you just handle him. He don't care. He's cool and laid back.
you know, a lot of encounters with me. Doing so, I always tell people the defensive versus aggressive spiel. You know, they're not aggressive; they're defensive. Blah 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 blah. A lot of people don't agree with handling chondros. Some people do.
What? If they're big, if they're over 2 or 3, it's spine safe, and if they're friendly, freaking do it. That's ridiculous.
I think that it's excess stress that they don't need, which is understandable. However, I personally just think a lot of people don't know how to handle green trees. It's just, you can't handle them like you do any other snake. You really have to handle them a certain way. I've gotten people have dropped off their green trees to my house and go, "Here, teach me how to handle my green trees." And I'm like, "Alrighty." They go, "Be careful, she's gonna bite you." And then I bring her out and she doesn't bite me. And I'm telling you, if you handle your green tree a certain way, they can be exactly the same as every other snake.
Yeah.
Caesar Viridius Milan. That's your new name. Chondro Whisperer.
The Chondro Whisperer. There we go.
Don't let her lie to you. She's got a little whistle in her pocket. It vibrates their inner ear and they chill out. Yeah, exotic A1. It's like a show snake, and I tell people that are like, "Oh, I want to get a chondro for the first time," and I'm like, I always ask them. I go, because I did reef aquariums for a decade commercially, in 2 very large markets, and it's like, do you like to look at reef tanks? Well, yeah. Do you reach in there and like handle the anemones and the corals? No. What would happen? It would bother them and kill them. And exactly. Do you like discus tanks? Do you like to look at monkeys at the zoo? Yeah, it's one of those things. You enjoy the beauty of it. You don't go in there and pluck orchids and put them in like you would a rose. It's something delicate that you have to. If you don't appreciate using your eyes to enjoy it, it's not the snake for you. If you want something to handle, get a berm or a ball python or something. But don't put that on them. If they're like this, That's a gift. You don't get that all the time. But
I
don't
mean,
don't
you
force
go-
them.
If you go to Bill Stiegel's place, he'll tell you the same thing. He'll tell you that that green trees are really sweet. You just have to be able to work with them, be able to handle them. This guy I didn't get as a Neo, but I was able to get him to this point. You know what I mean? I'm sure other people can vouch the same thing. It just some people have no interest in handling a chondro, some people do, and personally, I like to show off what I can do with a chondro.
Hey, it's like this. If I have a snake, I want to handle it. So,
And you can with green trees. I think a lot of people, they don't understand food response either,
Agreed.
because that's a big part of it too. You know, they're like, oh, my snake's always going after me. Well, green trees have a high food response. You know, I can feed my female a small or a medium mouse and come back in 10 minutes later and she's ready to eat again. She wants another medium mouse, you know, and I have to be like, hey, you're not going to eat right now, you know?
Yeah.
But that doesn't make her aggressive, because if I spray her with water real quick, I can take her off of her perch and I can hold her just like that.
I think it's a big. I think the big difference too is captive bred green trees versus imports. That's going to be a big, major difference. You might get an import that's super friendly, but it's friendly because it's shutting down and it's scared. Or you might get a green tree that's an import that's super defensive because it's super defensive. You know what I mean? It doesn't know what you are. And then you get captive breds, which are going to be used to being around people, handling with people all the time. That's where they were born and raised, you know. So I definitely think that can make a big impact on them.
but the biggest thing it comes to, even with your green trees, you know, no different than your ball pythons or boas or any other reptile. Each reptile is an individual, and you need to learn that reptile's behavior and what you can and can't do, you know, as far as stressing him out, handling him and things like that, to be safe and have your animal thriving, you know, stress-free.
One thing I see a lot of just arboreal keepers with snakes that are super defensive do is when they take their snake out, they'll create a target for that snake. They put their hand up and they put it in front of them to create a target to move away from their face, but they unknowingly create something for them to strike at, create something for them to want to strike at, and that's just putting yourself back as well.
What about hook training with GTPs? Is that a thing? Or
It is definitely a thing. But here's the thing is, snakes are smarter than you think, and they know the difference between your hands and a hook. And
Right.
I've handled Neos, well, not Neos, but yearlings and higher, that they knew the difference between a glove and my hand. They were chill with the glove, but as soon as I took that glove off, they knew it was my hand. So here's the thing: is you can hook train all you want, but as soon as you get your hand on that snake, and they might act or something. So
You guys ever had a stuck shed that you had to work off of one of them? I got a photo from many months ago. My wrist got nailed, and I got bit. It missed the gloves. I had leather, like thin leather work gloves I use just for this. They're not for work, but they're thin like goat hide gloves. And that thing, like you said, Rebecca, just found my bare naked wrist and nailed them both on both sides above the gloves a couple of times. It was real cute. And not the most terrible bite in the world, except they hit with such force. I actually, like Chuck has just said on show 11, busted a blood vessel. I had a little busted lump bruise up under that joker. Like, it's like when you miss an IV and that thing burns, you know, when you're getting an IV, you know. It was like that. It popped a vessel on my wrist. The rest was just a couple of pinholes, and it's, you know, like a usual snake bite, you know. But yeah, it got a little capillary or something. That did not feel good. And it wasn't that it was vicious or latched or rolled or nothing. It just said whack like a food response, and it just got a sweet spot on my wrist over a bony prominence. Yeah, it wasn't cool. But you guys ever have stuck sheds you've had to handle?
yeah, I see a lot of people also when they're handling They're green trees, okay? They like to have something to be secure on. And I see a lot of people, once they start to wrap on one hand to feel secure, start to take them off.
Everyone.
Start to freak out. You know what I mean? And they start to get really nervous. So, pretend like you're a tree. Let them wrap on you. He's all donuted up on my hand right now, and
That's a green ball python. Look at that thing.
That's how they feel comfortable. So I mean, let them do what they want to do and go with the flow. But one of the main things is always come from underneath them, because that's how they feel secure. If you're above them, you're a predator.
That's awesome. Right on. Well, Kevin, thanks for rolling through. It's cool you were stuck at work. Thanks for rolling in. He's one of our roundtable folks here. Do you mind, Ryan? Is Sam, are you still there, buddy?
Yeah.
Cool, man. Thanks for hanging out. So I'm really stoked. I just kind of randomly met. I was looking for people that might have green trees in their collection on here. And on TikTok, it's not like Instagram, Ryan. There is hardly anybody on here. That there's like 4 or 5 folks that have like 90, like a huge following, 90,000 plus. And there's only a few average Joes out there with them. But you can kind of see who's got quality, knows what they're doing, they don't. And I saw Sam's stuff, and then he found me on Instagram, and I checked out his page, and I was like, holy shit. He's got all kinds of heat. He's got some really cool stuff. So I'm glad we got a new friend here in the community. He does a few different species. You might be able to tell us right quick. But, yeah, I didn't know about your followers on here. I didn't look. So when you hit 500, you can get a video box. So if anyone can for me, let's give Sam a screen. We're going to put him up here, make it easy. If you guys go follow my dude Sam so that he can get to 500 as soon as possible. That
Guys,
way,
pick everybody up over here. Pick everybody up in the comments again. Let's help each other support their channels, right? Help this community grow so we can bring these cool hangouts to y'all and the education. And, let's do this and keep it rolling.
Yeah, there's a lot of reptile friends in here. So share it with your other people in your contacts, that profile. Let's get him up to 500 so we can get him on a video now. Sound good?
We have a question right here. Has any of y'all tried higher up cages to have them more chilled out, or is that a myth? Y'all know anything about that?
Man, they need 3x2 or 2x2. They don't need vertical.
So
Okay.
I have tried vertical with them, and I but he's the only one that I'll ever do in a vertical. So right now I have a 2x2. He prefers vertical. Every time I have him in horizontal, he's going up and down. In a vertical, I do both. In a vertical, he's going up and down, and I also, a lot of people don't do this, but I think it's really beneficial. Is have a vertical perch. So vertical perches allow them to act like they will in the wild, because they do not only have horizontal, but they do also have vertical perching. And he enjoys that a lot. He's going up and down it all night. Loves it. So he's the only one that I will do in a vertical, and one of my other green trees is
Oh,
Hey,
no,
Rebecca,
how
we're having-
thick is the vertical perch?
We're having a hard time with your audio. It's cutting in and out, or you're far away from the mic a little bit or something.
I think it might be Kevin. I think he's got some noise coming through and it's cutting it off.
Oh, let me see what I can do.
We're getting this question with Exotic again about maybe having the location of the cage, potentially maybe head level so you can see it versus down lower. Maybe that's a thing. A stress eliminator or something.
Oh, he's talking about position in the room in the stack.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be. I always just base it off of how I come into the enclosure versus where my cage is located. When I come into the enclosure, I always just come from underneath the snake to pick them up. So I haven't found any difference as far as any of my snakes location-wise, like higher or lower. There's a difference, but I always come in from underneath my snakes anyway.
Do you keep plants in your cage?
So I did for a while. However, for him specifically, he is a home wrecker. Okay, he ruins his enclosures.
Yeah.
Destroys them. So I have now like gorilla glued his plants into his background. But that's for him specifically. I have tried it with him, but like I said, he's now been diagnosed with just chronic RIs, which we have now gotten to a really great base with him in. But with him, I won't do it again. Just that little boost of bacteria kind of throws him off.
We got a cowboy hat. There you go.
But yeah, so I won't try it with him. But I know my friend, I don't know if you know about Vincent Cersei. You know Vincent?
I have heard the name, but I don't know offhand.
He does green trees, Dominican red mountain boas, rough scales. He's mostly a green tree guy though, but he has a very sterile environment. However, he also includes live plants in his enclosures, and he's had amazing success. So I think it's definitely just based on the snake itself as well. Like I like to go based on my reptiles and just what they.
Right on.
Well, I know Kevin has a question about my vertical perches.
Yeah, I was asking. Sorry, is the audio okay now?
You're
Yeah,
good.
it's better.
All right,
It's
I was
a little
asking
gravelly.
how thick. Sorry, it's probably the microphone, or it might be my voice.
It's okay.
How thick of a vertical perch do you normally have? Do you use?
So with him, I have multiple different options because with him, since he was in such a naturalistic enclosure when I first got him, I wanted to keep it that way, but more sterile. So what I ended up doing was I have one perch that's here, let me put him around my neck. I have one perch that's approximately like that thick, and that's his favorite one. It's a really
Okay.
perch, and then I have one that's thinner, about 1 inch across, and that one he doesn't use as often. So I give mine a little, about 2 to choose from.
Cool.
All right, yeah, I planned on introducing some vertical perches in my new enclosures that I'm building, and I wanted to go pretty thick because I know in the wild they'll climb up, thicker, well, not really thick trees, but maybe I can't even think of the word, like 3-4 inch diameter trees and stuff to get up to the canopy.
Yeah, it also gives
So
him.
I was just wondering.
Ever since I added a vertical perch, I've seen such an increase in muscle mass. He is built like a bodybuilder. He is huge now. So yeah, which I really enjoy seeing that he's enjoying that vertical perch.
So when I get my 2x2 PVC cubes, maybe I'll put one of those bathroom old person safety handles on the side and mount that bad boy on there. It's stainless steel. You can clean it with F10 or cabbie wipes, and it's screwed into the side. And to give them something to climb up, maybe. Because you like to be able to sterilize it as you go, but if you can't remove it, it gets a little tough. It brings up a
It's
good
been
idea.
cool watching them climb vertically. That's like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, I just enjoy I like to wedge mine in there. That way I can remove it if I need to. So I wedge mine.
Question for high
I wedge
voltage.
mine.
Did you make that moss perch, and have you had to change it often? Is that off your Instagram photos, I'm assuming?
What's that?
Someone asked, did you make that moss perch from Exotic A1 Pets, or do you have to change it very often?
I made it, and after that, I ended up removing it and just put normal PVC. It was more of a hassle than anything.
Oh, okay. How come?
Just because the urates and everything getting smudged in it, and then you have to try to wash it, and you never really get it all the way out. So, yeah, I took those out probably a year ago.
So make something that's easy maintenance for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
About
Has anybody
Removable
used,
branches.
has anybody
What's that?
used bamboo purchase?
I have. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
No. If you have, knock on wood, might break out, they
Oh,
will,
that makes sense.
no matter what. You bake the wood, you can do whatever you want to it, but they will stay in there. I don't know what it is about bamboo, but I love it. I've used bamboo, and I currently still use bamboo in some of my other enclosures. But snakes that are more arboreal, and that are a little bit harder to treat because they're not on the floor, I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got the bamboo purchase. They're probably maybe 5/16 of an inch thick. So I've got two of them twisted together and zip tied together, and the snakes love them.
You could
I
use
think
them, but you
I'll put-
can throw them away if you have some sort of problem.
Right, absolutely.
I'm
I
at
didn't
to
even
the
think
point.
about the mic problem.
I'm to the point where I think I'm pretty resigned to the idea of buying 3D printed PVC stuff from like Chris from 3D in a Box, or David Brahms, his purchase. I really, there's nothing when it comes to these guys, and especially when they're young and you have to weigh them, taking out a perch that's on a stand and setting it in a Tupperware where you can put a lid on it even, into a tote, you can weigh the animal. You can put it back in or just put a new perch in there and let them climb and say that one's soiled. Having some extra perches, whether it's a 2 foot long, 3 foot long stick for a larger animal that fits in the proper holders on the side. Like, yes, you can bushcraft a lot of stuff together, and I get that. I'm all about it. But, dude, some of those ones, like, it's like $4 or $6 for a pair of the 1/2 inch holders from Chris in the Box. You can use a piece of PV stick. Or you can buy a $20 stick of the good-looking stuff and just be done with it. So, yes, it's a little bit of money. It's not astronomical, not compared to the animal or the thermostat or any of that stuff, or the cube itself, for God's sake. But I really am a believer. And I haven't gotten there yet. It's just a money thing. I've been growing so much. I've had to spread my resources. But my next thing is going to be PVC removable perches and stands, because life is so much easier when you can move them quickly without disturbing them. Photography options go through the roof. You can take them out. You ain't got to wrangle this thing. You can just set it outside, set up places on a stand, take photos in all settings. You can weigh the animal. You can clean the enclosure and put it back. You ain't bothering it. Removable branches, like you had your big ones on a stick when you brought it out. People, I think, undervalue how important that is to have a lift-out PVC perch of any sort for that exact example you showed us. Not getting bit, not disturbing the animal, getting in there, do what you need to do. It's a small thing, but a very important thing. I think.
Cheap. I mean, my Neos, when they hatched out, I didn't even have the 3D perches yet. I was using a clothes hanger.
That's a great way. I see a lot of Gary Shavino, a lot of people do that.
Yeah. I just went in my closet, sprayed it down with some rubbing alcohol, let it dry, and then threw it in there. It all perched on that.
So 3D printed limbs are for sure. I mean, that works for what you're doing there as well.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
I think there's some people making a lot of 3D printed stuff for the GTPs for a couple of people, right?
There is. There's quite a
Yeah,
bit.
it's getting,
Okay.
there's a lot more options now than there were, say, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah. Someone asked about DIY textured purchase for PVC. Texture's
So-
cool, but it can also hold poop and rat guts if you do in feeding. So there's a balance.
They may be also talking about using that Zoopoxy on the perches, which is
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. There's a guy who does the I can't remember, Snakescape. Yeah, Snakescape.
Snakescape by Ron. I just talked to him the other day. I've been in
Yep.
love with that guy's stuff, and he's moving to Arkansas. He's moving to my state, and he's promised me I could buy something without shipping. And the guy is my hero. I've been drooling over his work. This dude makes shit for zoos. He's moving to my state. I just talked to him a couple days ago. Snakescapes by Ron is everything. If you don't follow him on Instagram, do yourself a favor. That guy makes pro-level zoo stuff that is like
Absolutely.
mind-blowingly real. It is the bomb. I love that guy.
And the best thing is, it's a removable perch.
Yeah. And it stands on its own. He's got the geometry down to where the damn thing stands in the enclosure. You tell him the specs are. It's insane.
Yep.
So, Sam, hey, Kevin, are you going to be able to be home to show us some of your enclosures and animals? You still got emeralds, right?
Yeah, I've got emeralds, and I got 2 GTPs, and I think I'm up to 4 emeralds now.
Cool. Let's
Uh-oh.
holler at Sam for a minute, if you don't mind. I mean, everybody wants to see animals. People love watching animals on here. If you got a time to do that, so Sam, tell us about. Oh, go ahead, Kevin. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I probably won't be home by the end of the live.
Oh, okay.
To show everything off, but
Okay.
I'll gladly stay in and watch.
Well, no worries. I'll use this as a moment. Then, so I'm doing the subscriber thing, and it's not like, oh, I want lots of fans, but to try to like draw people in to do the Green Tree kind of hangouts and in my, Brazilian rainbow boas and the care of that. And I know Rebecca and I maybe could team up with the Columbia and the rainbow boa and kind of throw some of those. Yet to be determined. I don't know yet. So if you guys are thinking about subscribing, that's what it's about. And I made it as the cheapest possible, $2 or whatever it is, rung that there is. So it's not trying to be exclusive. But if you're ever down, Kevin, that we can get together and like co-host lives that for subs that we can cover more in-depth GTB things, even if it's just cleaning and talking and just like answering questions. Showing them the stuff we work with, like just equipment and crap, anything. So if you're down at some point, I'd like to do that. It's not tonight by any stretch of the imagination, but if you're down, that'd be cool, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd definitely be down with that.
Right on, dude. Kevin's a friend of ours. We got kind of random about a month and a half ago. He just kind of rolled through.
Yeah, I came into one of the Naughty Business lives and started chatting it up with y'all, and I really liked. I'm gonna be honest, y'all are some really solid guys, and we just hit it off. And I've been trying to participate as much as I can. By the way, is anybody going to Tinley?
I might.
I'm going to St. Louis, but not Chicago.
Me and a couple of my buddies, we're heading out from Louisiana on Thursday. We'll be up there Friday.
Nice. So if you guys are at Tinley, well, good luck. Try to find Kevin. Hey, wear a Waldo sweatshirt, man. So we'll just tell everyone to look for you because that place is packed.
Oh, I can imagine. I might just wear the beanie. Horizontal stripes don't go good on me.
Yeah, right on, dude. Hey, so hang out as much as you want. We'll check out animals. It's no big deal, dude. We'll check out and do some stuff and plan some things in the future here. Kevin's a pretty dang knowledgeable guy, always level-headed. We love level-headed, smart people that aren't that don't talk down to folks. That's what we try to surround ourselves with. Is just not that you have to know everything. We don't, need expert gurus, but between all of us, we can kind of figure it out. Between your guru and my guru and hers and his and what we've learned, like we kind of can put it together, which helps people, like you had said, the community. You didn't have a community when you started out, right?
Right.
And so it's really cool to see that develop. And I mean, you've been kind of instrumental, just to be full disclosure. Ryan's kind of pumped me up when I was like, man, I don't think I really belong. Like these guys, Bill Stiegel's over here putting his arm around my shoulder saying, come to the party. I'm like, I don't think I should go, man. And you're like, dude, go, stop being a wuss. So it's really cool to see the community open its arms because some people think it's just a bunch of snobs and it's not true.
That's how I thought it was going to be, but everybody's just open arms, I mean, like when you were talking, you were like, yeah, I really want to hit up Chuck, but I don't know. I'm like, hit him up. You want me to hit him up for you? You're like, yeah, could you? I hit him up. I'll give him my number.
See?
I was like, all right.
Hey, I'll admit it. I was embarrassed. Yeah, I needed a wingman. I'm not too big. I'm not too big about it, man. It's all right. It's all right. Players mess up.
No, but I mean, and he's just like, yeah, give him my number right now. Have him give me a call or text me or whatever. And that's kind of how I've been through this thing. After talking to Chuck, I'm like, whatever, I'm going to hit people up. And if they don't hit me back up, then that sucks, whatever. But everybody has it.
High voltage chondros and all, and you. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna hit you up on Instagram afterwards.
Yeah, his Instagram page is cool for sure. That's what he does his stuff at. I've gotten cool with M&M Chondros and Dimitri out of Chicago. I love Dimitri's product. It's so different than other animals out there. His stuff's really neat. I like him. He's doing he's going to a different beat of his own drum as far as his look.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I was trying to get one of his Neos. I don't know if it was earlier this year or late last year.
He's had
Right.
some in the last couple months. He's been trying to offload them. You could have got a deal, I bet, compared to his
I know.
table price.
I know.
Yeah.
He was like, I'll give it to you for this. I'll cover shipping. And I just couldn't pull it off. I had other shit going on.
Oh, I want a yellow maroon baby with teal triangles outlined in orange. Fuck.
Right? Like, yeah, I'm kicking myself in the ass, but whatever.
They're just so different. His animals are so unique. They're not Bill. You know, everyone's and I love Bill Steele. I love the calico melanistic. Don't you? That's what I want to do. But everyone's kind of going that away, or like Chuck's got a look and a color. You know, people are going for a theme. I feel like Dimitri's just doing something different. Like I don't know. I could be wrong, but cool stuff.
What's everybody's favorite locality?
Good question.
Ooh. Locality, I would have to go with Jaipur.
I was gonna say Jaipur or Sarong.
I'm gonna
I
have
would say Jaipur or Cyclops. With that,
I was
Which
gonna say Cyclops is wrong for me.
Am I the only one who said Maniquari?
Yeah.
They are awesome.
Kofio
Sam?
Island pretty good too. Kofio, I think is how
Yes.
it's pronounced.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
you can't beat a good old
they're all
Cyclops.
great, right?
Sam, what's yours?
Definitely a sarong. I've only got sarongs too so far. I'd love to get some Jayapura or Maniquari, but we'll see about that. But yeah,
Right.
definitely love the blues and the sarongs.
What up,
Why
brothers?
not?
Guys, show us some love. Show us some love. Let's hit 40K. Come on, come on, come on. You guys are going to sleep on us. Wake up.
Artifact and the
Wake up.
koi foo. Okay.
I feel like saying that my snake's from Cyclops Mountain is pretty cool.
Yep.
Hey, we know a guy. We can get you one, dude. We can get you. He might still have 2 left. I can get you 2 of them.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of stepping away from green trees and moving more to emeralds.
All right, disconnect.
I know.
I'm kidding you, brother. No, that's cool. That's kind of the next evolution. It feels like lately.
Following him now because I want to get into Emerald.
Shun the Cananus guy.
Where is that mute button? I am looking everywhere. I cannot find the damn mute. I'm teasing you, Kevin. No, emeralds are awesome and mystifying. They're freaking amazing. So Sam, tell us about yours. Yours and your Instagram, Sam, look like they were getting close to. You're talking about pairing before long. Are they of size this year or no?
Yeah, they're definitely of size. They're both. My male is a 2018, and my female is a 2021. So they're definitely of age and size. But I just wanted to wait one more year. I'm mostly focused on boas right now. I was focused on my Argentine boas for so long this year, and then
Yeah.
fortunately lost my male.
That big one in your Instagram. I think I like that one today. That big one.
Yeah, I lost that male at the end of August, unfortunately. So hopefully we'll pair up the green trees next year. Definitely love the Morelia family. So
Yeah. Damn. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you know what caused it, or do you have it? Was there an accident, a trauma, or what?
I really don't know. I came out of nowhere.
Was there an accident, a trauma, or what?
He got. I really don't know. I came out of nowhere.
Was there an accident, a trauma, or what?
He got.
There we go. It was dread.
I see. No, yeah, it was. He got a nasty infection, and I took him to the vet, and they found no cancerous, no fungal agents. And then 4 days later, he passed away. Super, super unfortunate, but I guess it's just things happen. So
Yeah.
learn, and you can't replace an individual, obviously, but you can always move on. So
Right.
just looking forward for new stuff, and yeah, definitely excited for the green trees.
Cool. So you just have 2 right now. Are you wanting to get more, or is this something you just kind of dabble because you like the beauty of them, or are you wanting to go? Are you going into them or out of them? You think?
Definitely into them. I'll definitely need to clear some space out of my other stuff to get some more. But I'd love to get. I like the Arus a lot too.
Yeah.
I'd love to get some of those. I like the smaller localities just because it's easier for space and for humidity. Likewise with the smaller cages out here
Yeah.
in Phoenix, it's pretty hot.
'Cause, yeah, you're in Phoenix. Hey, do you know Graceful Serpents out that way?
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah,
You know Pat?
yeah, I do. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I met him a couple years ago. Yeah, he's awesome.
Pat is awesome. He was our 4th guest, and he's really super cool, super great guy. Got to know him fairly decent in the course of getting ready for that show, and I was watching his lives. I usually before we get someone on the show, I definitely do my homework and legwork and stuff from afar for a bit. So I've been kind of watching him, and I like Pat's a really good dude. So that's awesome that you do know him. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's got some awesome stuff. Yeah, I've definitely been trying to connect more in the community. I'm a big fan of the Morelia stuff, so it's awesome to.
You got carpets, or what else you got going in that?
Yeah, I've got a pair of coastals. I'll be pairing up this year. It's I've got an
Coastal. Those are the big ones.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of the coastals, and then like bigger locality boas. Obviously like the Argentines, but for coastals this year, I've got an Axanthic male from Inland Exotics, and then I'll be pairing him with my female, just regular coastal from Psychotic Exotics.
Okay.
So that'll be I'm super pumped for that one.
Hell yeah. Right, so you're multidisciplined as well, as is R&R Reptiles, Kevin. I guess we kind of all are. I mean, what else? You got a few other critters. Are they just pets for you, Ryan? Your other critters you have?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a black throat monitor and a ball python, a couple of redtails, a bearded dragon, a leopard gecko, and some crested geckos.
Yeah, we talked about them cresteds.
Yeah.
We won't speak of what they're for.
I think everybody knows I'm jumping on the train.
Dude, I am definitely. I'm not there. Clearly, not there yet. But I'll have 3 by the time I get Chucks this spring. So they're not. They need to grow.
Oh, you trying to cheat on the feeding trials, all right?
It ain't cheating if you're winning.
It ain't cheating if it's working.
No, you gotta suffer like all the people that came before us.
No, you learn that lesson. That's the thing. You learn your lesson and you move forward. Now I'm going to be team. I'll have some chick down. I'm going to have some chicken gizzard ready. I'm going to have live pinkies, red hots, and I'm going to have me some live and frozen crusties or mornings, one or the other. And I'm going to just be like, welcome to the Chinese buffet. You sit down, you stay long time, you eat. And I'm gonna just let them at it. I'm gonna do whatever they want to eat. If it's like Cheetos or something, like I don't care. Like I'm gonna get them whatever they want.
You just lay them all out and let them pick.
I tried pinkies with. Okay, so I have one that just hates to eat, even assist feeding. I have to try 3 or 4 times and he just spits it back out, no matter what it is. I tried pinkies with them. I tried scenting it with chick down. I tried the button quail. That didn't work. So it's just basically right now just chicken gizzard is all he's doing. So hopefully I'll get a couple of crested and he'll go for that. But at least I'll be ready with the next clutch.
Yes, be ready.
One of my emeralds gave me wouldn't eat for months. I ended up throwing a live quail in there. I mean, not a quail, finch. Tossed a finch in there. Was gone the next morning.
Nice.
Do you guys price your neos a little differently, harder to get on food and like eating a little bit more eaters?
Sorry, we're having audio. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I was saying, are you pricing your neos a little bit differently if they are hard eaters?
You don't sell them. There is no price if they're not eaten. That's just.
Yeah, I mean, once you get them on a certain thing, let's say they're not switching, to pinkies or things like that. They're strictly on quail or strictly on cressies and things like that. Are you selling them at that point, or what's your go-to there?
To be honest, I haven't even thought about that. Like this clutch, I'm giving them all away. Like I'm just doing this strictly for the fun of it, you know. But I guess
Nice.
if it did come to something like that, then I'd probably give it to a friend or whatever, you know.
I feel like everybody gets them on rodents before they let them go, though. I've never heard of one. I mean, I don't know. I can't say for certain, but I feel like everyone is always, at some point, they switch to rodents, whether it's a year or
Yeah.
3 weeks.
If somebody sells me a snake that's only eating crusties, they better send me a breeding pair with it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great point. You know, you factor that into the cost. Okay, here's a pair of plain brown ones. It's an extra $100. You know, and they're 2 years old and they've had X number of clutches. And make sure you got your crusty set up ready to go. That's a great point to have.
You would have to drop the price even on that though, because that's getting more enclosures and going through the hassle of trying to breed the cresteds and all that on top of
Exactly.
that's where I'm saying at that point I would probably just give it away, or not just keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Sam? Have you had difficult feeders?
So far, I've only bred corn snakes. So, no, I've never had any sort of difficulty feeding.
Boas are pretty voracious, right? I mean, mine are. I got rainbow boas. I mean, they'll eat anything, anytime.
Yeah, boas are unbelievable. Their feeding drive is through the roof. I do mine since our summers are so hot here. I cycle mine and feed them like crazy in the summer, and then since we get such dry winters, I'll slow them down.
Okay.
They're definitely, the heat drives their metabolism like crazy.
Okay.
At least out here.
Right. Yeah. Well, Phoenix said that's an intense zone. I mean, in the SoCal too, for you, Ryan and Dredd. I mean, it's definitely different from some of these other. And then if you're in Texas as well, Louisiana. I mean, I'm in Arkansas, but we get a little bit more normal, regular 4-season weather here. Nowhere near as dry and hot as you guys down there. Not even a damn sight. So, hell, it was hotter in St. Louis, which is 4 hours north of where I live. Like people here, are like, oh, it's 92, it's so hot, and I'm like, you weenies, like it'll be 98 to 103 without heat index for 3 weeks nonstop. Don't drop below 85 for 3 weeks in St. Louis in the summer, and it is. I mean, it's hotter there. It's probably the urban umbrella and all that, the buildings and asphalt. And there's 3 rivers. People don't think of that, but the Mississippi, the Missouri, and the Merrimack, and Missouri and Mississippi are huge. It's a humid area. It's hot and humid in the summer in St. Louis. I think the summers are worse than they are where I am, even though I'm 4 hours south. I think people here think it's terrible, and then you guys have 110 nonstop for months. It's crazy. I would
I'll
have
take some of that 92 degrees. That'd be nice.
right. That's your high. Well, the heat index, it's 105 today. Yeah, well, it's just a little humid. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all it is. It's a little humidity. It's good for your skin. Just rub it in. That's how I stay so youthful, man. I stay in the humidity. I'm 63 years old. You guys didn't know that. All right, Ryan. Well, I don't want to keep you all night, buddy. Anybody got any really good questions for Ryan here? We've kept him on 2 hours. He's got a wife and kids. We can't keep him all night. What else we got? Anybody else got something for Ryan here? Because I know him and I chat all the time, but you guys don't always get a chance to. He's not on TikTok, so shoot your shot.
No, but I want to show him real quick if I have a picture of my Neo that I got back from that clutch.
Oh, yes. I saw this the other day. Let's see this Neo.
Let me see. Let me see.
Dang,
Let me see.
that's crazy.
You're on an echo. Someone's on an echo. I see. Look at that mustard, that really cool baseball looking. That's almost like a Porsche interior leather, like mustard color on that jaw. That's rad.
It's crazy on the diamonds. It almost looks like there's like a design in them.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It's awesome. Just the colors that are coming through even.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's almost like a sleeve over the snake with little diamonds cut out. I like that.
That is wild. We've got a question asking for a box. It's probably too hard to type. There's a character limit. Wild. We've got a question asking for a box. It's probably too hard to type. There's a character limit. Wild. I'm not sure who's echoing. Let's see here. Where we go? Might have been R&R. I don't understand why that happens. I really don't. It's TikTok has some. It's not a perfect world. But it's our world, damn it, Ryan. YouTube is full of them. We're over here, we're kind of the first over here, brother. No one else is doing this.
We are the first.
I would definitely do this again. This is fun.
See, and you only got one cowboy hat. Sometimes people give you all kinds of crap, like Elvis glasses and hair. It's fun. It's a lot more interactive than some of the others. I am looking for someone that had a question that wants in a box, and
Me. Put me in a box. Put me in a box. Me. Pick me.
Dred, I'm gonna put you in the box, bro.
Pick me. Hey, Ryan, get you TikTok started. Come do some hangouts, right?
We'll get you to 1,000 in no time.
We got the Dreadnought hangouts we do a couple times a week, and then we do this live. We just try to have a lot of fun. So come through anytime. We'll help get your following up. That's what we do.
I don't think that I'll do the whole TikTok thing. I'm not into social media. I got Instagram and that's it. And even on my personal page, I haven't been on it in probably 6 months.
Yeah.
I get that. Well, you're invited to come join us anytime. We're here to.
Yeah, I'll do the guests whenever you guys want me to. I'll be honest with you.
That's my dog right there. It's my dude.
Fair enough.
Tanya had a question for us. Tanya, what's the question?
Hi, good evening, everyone.
What's up?
Last week, I stopped in the middle of the road, stopped traffic and everything to save a snake. Turns out it was a rattlesnake.
Yeah.
It didn't try to bite me or anything, and I know you're not supposed to free handle venomous snakes, but it had to get off that road. That road was hot. So I picked it up by its tail and then slowly slid my other hand halfway up its body. It never offered to bite. Nothing. I took it over and set it down in the grass, in the ditch. It turned around, looked at me, and shook its tail. Then turned around and slithered into the culvert.
That was a thank you.
Did that snake understand what I was doing?
I think that snake was waiting goodbye. No, I don't know. I don't know. That's
So,
weird.
honestly, the snake was probably so traumatized that it kind of just froze up at the time. I mean, I hate to say it, and I hate to be the person to say it, but you can't really emotionalize reptiles because they're driven on instinct, and it hurts a lot of people's feelings that to hear that, but they're driven on instinct, and that snake was just probably so traumatized that it just didn't react to anything. And then once you got it out of the situation it was in, it was just like, all right, I can move. I'm safe now.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay, but I just really felt like it understood that I was there to save it.
No, honestly, it might not have even like really noticed you as much as like the vehicles that were passing and stuff. Because if anything, it would have seen you as a threat because you're way bigger than it. You're coming over the top of it. You're reaching for it. That's all the signs of a predator, unfortunately. And
okay, but did I do the right thing?
I
Absolutely.
definitely wouldn't do it again.
I
would say
you did the
get
right thing,
yourself
but
some
don't risk
scratcher
your life.
tickets and don't rinse and repeat. I would not recommend that. 10
Hey,
out of 10.
what you can do, Tanya, if you're worried about that, seeing that again, and we've done this several times, you can go to the big box store and get you one of those paint roller frame things, and you can screw that onto the end of one of those poles, and you can make you a homemade snake hook. That way you can, stay back safely and then get those snakes moved across, out of the way or to safety. We've made a bunch of those out here, and they work great. They're cheap. Just one of them painter's frames, you put the fuzzy rollers on, and then put that on one of those sticks and a broom handle or whatever, and that'll be your best bet going forward, just to keep.
Dred.
Okay.
Yes, you did the right thing.
Respect. Dred's out here buying. He's over here
Okay.
buying stuff from Home Depot to save snakes in the road. This guy's over here just bleeding his heart out. I love it.
Dred, you about to put some companies out of business with those new snake hooks.
Hey, you know what? Whatever it takes.
I'm gonna be honest, that's a great idea. You can like
Right, the Dreadnought Signature Series snake hooks.
Doubles as a paint roller.
That's right.
I'll have
That's
to
right.
do that because sadly, where I live in the country, I run across this a lot, and
Yes, ma'am.
sometimes the snake is already dead.
Well, yeah, make you one of them. What we're saying, you'll be a lot safer for sure.
I'm trying to. Tiny, you mind if I drop you
Okay.
down for a second?
And-
I appreciate your question here. Give me just a second if you don't mind. We'll get you back up in 1 second here. I tried.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to disconnect you. I just wanted to see if I could add squares. Dred, it's been so long. How do you add squares on here? I ain't messing with that dang thing. Or are we at max?
You got to go down to the interact, I think, or the settings. I'm not seeing it on mine right now. We got the boxes. I think you have to do it on your end to change the boxes.
I don't know.
I'm not seeing it.
I was gonna see if Bob Vu wanted to hop up for a second, but I couldn't figure out my boxes.
I'm looking.
I think we're at max right now for the setup.
Yeah, I think this is the max.
I got you.
Because Jessica was trying to do this with us one night, and we couldn't get any more boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mind to hop out for a minute, Tanya, and give us a box back, see if we can make this work?
Yeah, that's fine. That's
I
fine.
appreciate you, ma'am. Thank
Tanya,
you so much for your question.
thank you for
It
coming
was
through.
awesome.
Thank you for all your support and enjoying the show. We appreciate it. Welcome to the community. Much love there. Keep coming back and watching us.
Oh, well. It didn't work. Snake hook in the car, handy more often for sure. Yeah, I found a eastern speckled king snake a couple months ago, but it had been hit already, unfortunately. Yeah, Tanya, you're awesome. I appreciate you. But it was already hit. It was a beautiful specimen. It was a really nice one. It was really good.
So I have a quick question for Ryan. What's your goal with some of the new green trees that you're getting in, these Neos? I know you said you were getting one, a Cyclops, and a couple other things. What's the future plan?
I think I'm just gonna go maybe the designer route. I don't know. I don't really have a specific way that I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna.
Like high blue, melanistic.
Eventually, that's what I wanted to do. My wife really likes the calicos, so maybe get some of those too. I don't know. I don't really have a direction. It's just if I see one that I like the way it looks, I want to get it. And
Yeah.
then once I have a bigger collection, because I only have the 2 adults, so once I have a bigger collection, just what happens if I mix this one with that one? You know?
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
Well,
we need to get some mosaic in the States.
what's that?
Kevin, what?
On in the States.
We're losing your audio, brother.
I said we need to get some mosaic lines in the States.
Oh.
Oh, I'm gonna text it.
I haven't seen them. I'm not familiar. I'd have to take a look. You have to send me something. Send me something on Instagram so I can check that out. I'm not familiar. Well, let's ask Sal about that, Ryan. Let's find out what he's doing.
Yeah.
I feel terrible when I said about the guy before I knew him. He's been super cool. Apparently, all my messages went to his junk spam box, and he didn't know it. He was very apologetic. And then when I met him in person, he was nothing beyond super sweet. So I feel terrible.
You didn't say nothing bad.
I thought I was being ignored.
I know. You didn't say nothing bad, though.
No, not about him. I didn't know him from nobody. Now I do, and he's a great guy. the Mosaic line. I want to see. I haven't seen that, so I definitely want to check that out and see how it's different than Calico. Well, I know that. Are you gonna get to go to Trap Fest? Are you gonna get to go to Bill's party this coming year? Or what you think you're gonna get out there, get social?
So Trap Fest is only 2 hours from me, so I'll be going to that. And then as far as Bill's goes, me and my wife already talked, and I'm taking vacation at the end of the year for it. So,
Dude, I can drive there. It takes me 7 hours. I'm gonna go no matter what. I don't think I can make Trap Fest. I mean, it's just so expensive. I just don't see it happening. Well, Greg Maxwell was there last year, dude. So if they roll the old guy out again, if I find out he's going, I'm gonna send you a hard copy book, and you got to get an autograph for me because and then call me on the video phone because I want to tell him how awesome he is. Because if he's there again, I want a damn autograph book of that guy's. The More Complete Chondro, 2005. If you haven't read it. It's expensive. It's $60 or so to buy, but I bought it for like $23 on Barnes and Noble as an ebook. Pictures are good.
Every penny.
$23 though, and I read that damn thing, imaginary cover to imaginary cover, and it was awesome.
Yep, I still go back and reference it every once in a while.
That guy he's not the OG, but in my mind, as far as modern keeping, he is.
Yeah.
They only came here to the States in '75, and people just spent the first 10 years killing them and trying to figure it out. So, to be part of that, to get it to the next level and actually have them breed, that's pretty awesome. Much less
That really hadn't been that very long ago.
No.
It sucks when some of the more like older breeders end up passing or not doing it anymore because then, like I picked up a Rob Worrell and I have no lineage, no info on it because he's just dropped off the face of the earth. So it sucks losing that knowledge that they had.
Yeah. Well, I think, didn't Maxwell say that he might be getting back into it?
I haven't heard that, but I know he's gotten out of it. He does ball pythons now. So
wasn't he on Trap Talk on Tuesday, I want to say a few months ago? And I think that he was asking about cages and stuff. I could be completely wrong, but I think he was saying that he wanted to get back into like just having a small collection.
Wow.
If I could find it, I'll send it to you.
He's going to have some Marshall Mendez and Bill Stiegel in there. They're just going to be like, here you go. No, it's on me, bro. You're just going to get some fire. You know that. Yeah. When are we taking a field trip to Indonesia? Kevin, when you're paying for our tickets, sir, I'll cover lodging. How about that? That'll be my it's about $5 a night. But if you fly us there, I'm going. Okay, Kevin? That's when we'll go to Indonesia, brother. Let's go herping. Now, that would be the best TikTok live ever. Us with headlamps walking through Papua New Guinea. Shit.
That'd be cool.
Crikey, mate.
Yeah,
Sam, Sam, what else you got for us, dude? What else you got for us? What do you want to share? You got any good questions? What can we do?
Honestly, I mean, nothing crazy. I guess just thank you so much for inviting me on this. It's been awesome. I appreciate, learning about all your guys' stuff and hearing all your guys' opinions. It's super cool. I'm definitely excited for more of these. It's awesome. It's really, really cool.
Right on. Yeah. And I'm so glad Pat, like this community of people that are, do the right thing and have the right attitude. I think that circle grows and that feeds on itself. So I'm welcome, dude. I'm glad I met you. And when I saw your Instagram stuff, I mean, you got a great snake room. You got some great animals and clearly very talented. So I hope we get to know you more. We'll get you up to 500 followers. That way you can be in a video box. You can't host your own live until you have 1,000 followers. But if we can just get you to 500, we'll try to pimp your account out there and get you to 500 so you can join some of this and show off your animals because we love different species. That's why we have a different species background every freaking week. We don't just do the same thing. So you might be able to share some stuff with us about Dominican boas that ain't nobody know a damn thing about. And that would be super interesting. So we'll get you to 500 and we'll get you on a video screen so we can appreciate your animals in real time and handling them and get to know you even better. So I'm hoping we can do that pretty soon. It shouldn't take long. We'll just fire up the old naughty business magic machine and get you them followers.
Yeah.
We'll do,
uh,
we'll do the Dreadnought Hangouts and just keep right. We'll throw it out there to you and let you know, share it, and then just come through. We'll do this the same thing, and we got you. We got all y'all.
Instagram reel with it on there, and I'll put it on my story
Sweet.
with whatever your TikTok handle is or whatever. I don't know how it works, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, check them out, Ryan. I think it's the same name without a space, I believe. Is that right, Sam, on there?
Yeah.
I can
yeah,
shoot you. Know what? I'll
yeah.
make it easy for you, dude. I'll just shoot you the profile.
no,
He's in my-
I think we're friends as of today.
Oh, okay.
On
Okay.
Instagram.
Yeah. Also, yeah, we should be. And I think I found your page earlier in the week, so yeah, I'll message you on there.
Yeah, definitely do it.
Yeah, Sam's got some unique stuff that's really cool. That's another thing that stood out to me about Kevin and Rebecca at R&R is like, and you know, even you, Ryan. I know you're not breeding other things, but I mean, having your hand in a few different species. Yeah, one's more humid, one's more dry, one's more warm. I get it, but reading your animal and understanding how to provide that dependent environment, dude, it only makes you better. Whether you're keeping a ball python versus a tarantula or pick anything, it don't matter. But having success in different species, man, just brings more knowledge to the table so that when you see a problem in species A, you've already done it in species B, and you're like, I know how to solve that. I got this.
Yeah.
And I think that's super cool. Diversity is key nowadays. You can't just be a ball python breeder. You better, the big cats will tell you that now. You better have something else in your bag.
That shit's too confusing for me.
Yeah, I've got a problem getting into way too many stuff, but I like it. I'm getting a pair of northern rubber boas this weekend that I'm over the moon excited about. So
I feel you.
Super awesome.
I feel you, Sam.
it's too hard, you know. The perfect amount of reptiles is what you have plus one more.
Yep.
That's the quote of the night right there.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm focusing on 3 species. I mean, there's a 4th one I want. I think I told you about it, Ryan. I want to do the Western Madagascar Sanzinia tree boa.
You do the westerns and I do the easterns, and you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wanting 4 other things, and I've learned from some of our guests, as a matter of fact, Stygian Exotics, who does some really rare stuff on Instagram. She kind of talked me out of, with some experience and her friends' experience and what they knew about some species I was eyeballing, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And so instead of taking that money and spending a few grand on 4 species and enclosures, and I'm just gonna do the one and spend the 4 or 5 grand on them, and I'm gonna do those because they look like a damn gaboon viper in the tree, but they're friendly and they're good eaters and they're easy requirements. And I'm like, take my money. Like, this thing is awesome. So yeah, Western Madagascar tree boas are probably be my 4th and final species that I focus on. Because I just do 3 now, and that's it. I've done pets. I'm old. I had a room full of them. I worked in a reptile store. I mean, I don't want to have a bunch of stuff. It's too hard for me. I lose track. I don't do a good job when I'm all over the place. So I'm drilling down, baby.
How is it breeding those Sanzinias?
Look at that.
Tough. There's not many U.S. captive born. S&J Reptiles has them. I don't know how different they are. I just know there's not a lot of specimens available.
Right, that's what I was asking. I know that we've just started getting some captive breds in the States. From my understanding.
There's a guy I know of called.
Was super limited on them. Importation was super limited, so getting those captive bred up was really difficult. It was kind of like Boleyn's pythons or
Bolin's,
you
yeah.
call it.
Bolin's.
Boleyn's pythons.
Yeah, same thing with those.
I saw Bolin's pythons in person, U.S. captive born for the first, well, of any sort, for the first time with my own eyes in Dallas.
Yeah, me too.
You know, yeah, flood.
Like 20?
No, actually, I talked to him about stuff. I didn't ask price because I knew I wasn't in the market.
They were 10.
Yeah, they were 10. Yeah,
10 apiece.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was it a breeding pair?
There was 4 yearlings or so from Flood,
Okay.
FLUD, Flood. dude makes it sound real easy. He's been doing it like 10 or 15 years, and it's not that hard. I would have him on the show in a freaking heartbeat. He's cool, and he knows something that everybody wants to hear about. But he said he doesn't do podcasts. Not to me, I overheard it. Was that he lives somewhere rural, and the internet is just terrible, and it's not really worth him getting on to try to do a live feed. So, but if we can ever get Flood, FLUD, that guy, he's got bowlings down, and yeah, 10 G's a pop with people lined up around the block. That's not a bad day's work.
So we forgot to do this a while ago, Constrictly. What do we got going next as far as the show goes?
Oh, you're right. Saturday, we're back international. Part 2 of our miniseries with Mills Thacker of the Reptile Pit. So this guy has been at this 23 years. He imported the first piebald retics from the wild ever. Ended up selling them to Mike Wilbanks and his partner 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And he's specialized in importing ball python genes and perfecting them in the captivity, but they're from Africa. So he's been doing this some time. Last week, 2 weeks ago, we had a Saturday show with him. It's Saturday at 1. This is part 2 of the miniseries coming up this Saturday. He's going to show us go more in depth and show us some stuff that we haven't seen. We're showing stuff that the world has never seen, only him. And we're the only podcast he's ever done, ever. So it's pretty wild. He's turned down Trap Talk and everybody else over the years. So Saturday at 1 is our next. It's going to be ball python gene, proving out, which is a decade-long, love affair commitment. It's not easy to do. So this guy's next level stuff. And so that's what's coming Saturday. You're right, Dredd. Next week is going to be Basement Pythons. One of our moderators, Jen from TJ Hutch, and Reptiler. They've done co-breeding projects, and they're vending St. Louis, where I'm going to meet them come, when is that? November. Yeah, November. So they're going to be our guests next Wednesday. Ball Python Trio vending, at least Jason at Basement Python. It's his first show. So we're going to have him a week or something before. I forget. But it's going to be pretty sweet. That's 2 shows coming up. So that's what's popping over here.
We probably should have put that out there when we had a full room.
You know
It's
what?
Okay. It's okay. We've been promoting it good. We picked up a lot of good followers tonight. We're definitely reaching the community. No, it's good. We're definitely getting some reach. You guys, we appreciate all your support. Help keep us being the #1 reptile education podcast on TikTok. Brought to you live by the one and only Strictly Business and Dreadnought. Welcome, Naughties.
That's right. I just love the conversation tonight. This was just, for me, I just nerded out. I just loved it.
Oh yeah, this was right up
Kevin,
your
we
alley.
gave you the big screen. Show us what you're working with, baby. Show us what you're working
Finally
with.
made it home. So this is my Biak.
All right. I can see what direction mine's headed. Okay. Glimpse
So
into the future.
it's actually in shed right now.
Mine too.
And here's that's my pride and joy right here. Baby Fiona. Look how thin the perches are, and they just love them.
Kevin, you gotta let me know when you got emeralds.
And then, I had to get the giant water tub to, make it nice and humid in there. So have y'all ever heard the joke that they make it nice and humid in there? They have the joke. It's about we spend thousands of dollars on these snakes to put them in like $15 enclosures.
Right.
Little Tupperware thing.
Sorry, I've been under the weather. It's been a couple of weeks here, a week and a half. Oh, look at that guy. That one. Oh, nice diamonds on that one. Nice white jaw and lips too.
Well, how old is that one?
This is about 2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
So he's about ready for a bigger enclosure now. This is the
Really?
Yeah, I'm about ready to put him at least like a 2x2. This is 20 by 16.
Okay, gotcha. It looked bigger on camera. I gotcha.
Just get something to give him the something to allow them to move around more.
I got you.
And then let's see. Let me go. I gotta go in my kitchen. That's my quarantine area. Come on, get back on that. I quarantine my new reptiles in my kitchen. That's in my bedroom, and then I have a reptile room as well. And then I got the rest of these guys in the kitchen. Oh wait. There's
Speaking
one
of
my new
quarantine, Ryan, do you Nido test? What about you, Kev?
That's a nice one.
I have.
So
I haven't done it yet, though. I just.
yeah, I haven't done it yet either. I plan on it.
I'm going to before I get Carly's. I'm going to get me a 10-pack or so from from RAL Labs, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
I Nido tested one, and I'm about to Nido test another. The male I just got, I'm about to Nido test him.
This guy's a wild caught, but he's gonna be my breeding male if he ends up if I get like a clean bill of health out of him. But
I like, and you took a different approach on modifying a tote. I've modified mine. I laid mine on my side, but you've used this other method. It just shows people how this can work. With
How do you keep your heat up in there?
so I've got this pink foam board,
Oh,
and then on the inside right here, like on the outside of the tub, inside of the pink foam board is a heat mat. There's the thermostat pro right there.
interesting.
But basically, it insulates it right there, and then I got the heat. It's right there, and all of that. So they're fairly well. I've got a pretty decent temp gradient, 84.
yeah,
So
that's good.
this guy, he had some pretty bad stuck shed when I got him. So I'm trying to let him settle in a little bit. I only got him about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
And so, if all goes well, next year breeding, I'm gonna he should be ready next breeding season. So like this time next year, basically.
Right on.
This year,
So that's kind of my plan.
Sweet. Oh man, so you're moving to the Emeraldville. That seems to be a big evolution. I've loved them. I mean, they're just amazing. I think I've gotten more into the outcrosses and the calicos and the I mean, for lack of a better word, the morphs in green trees. That's really drawn me in. Kind of hybridized because I'm a purist with the Brazilian rainbow boas, but I love
This
the
is gonna be my
concept of
female's new enclosure. That's gonna be
That's big.
probably the males.
Okay.
See, I got a little hog nose in here somewhere, hiding out.
Little hog nose.
Yeah, the hog nose in there.
It looks like a huge tank, bro.
There's my little sulcata tortoise. This it's just one of those 20-gallon longs.
God. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
This one's a pretty big one. This is a 6 by 30 by 1.5 feet. My sun glow's in there somewhere hiding out. Yeah, there's my little sulcata tortoise. I got crested geckos over here, up in here.
Tasty.
Up in here, I've got one of my red tails.
You got a boa, don't you, Ryan? I know Dred's got a boa.
Yeah, I got 2 of them.
I got Uromastyx in here,
Nice.
and then up here's my Bradley python. They're semi-arboreal. He hangs out in the coconuts all day.
Really?
Yeah, and then at nighttime he comes out and explores.
Huh.
He's pretty
Right.
cool. I probably had him for about a year now. When I got him, he was like a black and gray, and I think they go through like another orogenic color change.
Yeah.
He'll actually be red as he gets older.
Right. Yeah, they're more of a rust. Yeah, more of a red, like a milky brick red. I think is a better word.
Yeah, he's a Lasix line. But yeah, he'll He'll just climb right up in the little hole in the coconut right there, hang out up in the air, or climb up in the air. That's where he hangs. That's what he does.
Casey Lasik was at NARBC too, Dallas.
Was she? Or he?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I didn't know anything about it until after I like looked it up and everything. I'm like, oh wow, it's like named after a person, kind of like VPI and all of that.
Yeah. Right on. Well, you guys ready to wrap this up and we'll cut Ryan loose? Let him get his dinner.
I
Kevin,
appreciate
yeah.
y'all staying on long enough to let me show y'all some stuff.
Yeah, man. I know work's work, man. Thanks for rolling through and making. I know you're on the hustle. I totally get it. When I get home, I barely got about 40 minutes from getting home to doing the show. So
That's my black-eyed leatherback bearded dragon. And all judgy per usual.
we need to do a beardy show. That's something we need to do here in the near future.
Oh, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my red monster. And then my daughter's got one in her room.
You got beardies everywhere, dude.
Yeah, my the missus really enjoyed them, so she's like, every time we go to a show, we come home with one.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, I'm like, where am I supposed to put all these? I'm constantly building enclosures and buying it.
Better you than me. Better you than me. That's all I gotta say. I'm team no beardy. Now they're cute and all, but man, I ain't signing up for that diet. No sir.
I'm ready to sell them all.
That's a boy.
Definitely ready to sell them all.
That makes sense. All right, guys. So we'll see everybody Saturday. We might hang out before then, right, Dred? Perhaps. I don't know what we'll do, but Saturday at 1 o'clock Central.
Yeah,
Central.
we'll do a couple more hangouts. Maybe a Fridays live. We'll see.
We're going back to London to have a small
London.
tea with our chap. Some proper biscuits.
No, I'll go on and do hangouts later.
Yeah, man, we're back in London on Saturday. It's gonna be sweet. And Scruff is my real life brother, not just like my brother. So thanks, Scruff, for coming through, my man, and the support. I love you, bro. Have a good rest of the night. Thanks for rolling through. Solomon Island Boas. Oh, Tanya, I know just the person. I know she was a guest of ours on our show. It's up on our YouTube. Oh, by the way, we run our shows now. I pull them down and put them on YouTube later. They're not the most beautiful edited pieces of work yet, but they're out there forever. And so our shows, I get them up on the YouTube now. And Tanya, I will message you somebody about Solomon Island Ground Boas. She is the expert, the number one expert I've ever met, and breeds them, has them available. She is very awesome. So she was our guest a few weeks ago. Yes, Tanya. I'll DM you or DM me so I don't forget or something, but I will. It's Kristen up in Michigan, Stygian Exotics. She is bona fide super pro on those.
Expert.
I mean, her care guides, I read them, and then I was like, ooh, I've been saying that wrong. I was embarrassed. I was like, oh, shit, there's not Santa Isabel Island morphs. Like, I was over here just drinking the Kool-Aid. I was wrong. There isn't. They're just color. It's like a bag of Skittles, and I was totally wrong, as is like 99% of the people in the industry. And she's got care guides that are just some of the best I've ever read. She's really into knowledge and sharing it. So, and she produces, man. She's got good babies. She makes them year in and year out. She's got wait lists. And I saw one on Morph Market from Stygian Exotics. If you see one from Stygian on there, yeah, it might be a little more than a wild caught, but get a wild caught for $150. Get one from her for like 400 cookies or so, 500, whatever. It will save you all the heartache in the world. Captive bred, not caught out of the wild. Yes, Stygian, Stygian. She's on Morph Market. She's got some available. Buy from her. She is the bomb on that. Solomon Islands. All right, dude. Ryan, thank you for your time, brother. I appreciate you.
Yes.
If there's anything I can do, let me know at all. Anything at all, man. And I always enjoy talking to you.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Ryan.
Yeah, you too. All
Good
you
talking
guys.
to you, bro.
And look what I got.
Yeah.
For $19.99, postage and handling included, you can have one too. Just send it directly to his cash at $19.99. It's a big sticker. That's my face.
It's huge. We didn't think it was going to be that big.
Hey, I'm probably late to the party, but what's the story behind the name?
Good question.
You a lineman or electrician?
I'm a lineman, yeah.
Yeah, I could tell you're a lineman. And in Louisiana, after the storms, we get them a lot. So
Yeah, they were just
awesome,
saying
man.
it throughout
Thank you for what you
Georgia
do.
yesterday, and I was trying to go, but I didn't make the cut. So,
Guessed it right off the bat.
Oh, to go out of state for all like the 24/7 OT, work your butt off for a few weeks, but make like a third of your whole year in like 4 weeks. Yeah.
come back and buy all the snakes I can, you know?
Yes.
The life.
Focus Cube, what? He's gonna come back with Toad Ranch, mother truckers. Like it's gonna be Toad Ranch up in this bitch, all matching mahogany wood.
Have a focus room and a Toad Ranch room, you know.
Woo! He'll be over there sitting there with a fine Cuban cigar, like yeah. That one right there, that one is straight from the sickness. Yeah, that's right. He handed it to me himself when I drove by there in my new.
In one hand, a cigar in the other.
I drove down there in my EV Hummer in one charge, and I got it from Bill's, and he's going to the Toad Ranch. All right, dude. You can click your screen and get back to whatever, man. But I sure appreciate you. We'll be in touch, and as soon I'm actually I'm doing a graphic designer. I got to cough up money, well, to everybody really. I have to pay everybody all my money. I eat ramen noodles and peanut butter and jelly, but for now it works.
I feel that on
And
the spirit.
I'm going to be paying a graphic designer to get my logo done, and then I'll feel confident to go to merch. So when I do, I owe you a sticker, and I want to make sure mine's bigger so that I'm not feeling. I want to put it in 8.5 by 11 so I don't feel like inferior, and I'm going to send it to you. And if you don't put it on the back of your truck, we're going to be hurt. Okay.
All right, we'll just keep going back and forth and get the bigger sticker.
That would be hilarious. And then I get a fat head of not of your logo, but of you, like a 48 by 48 fat head wall cling. If I don't, oh fuck, I want that for Christmas, bro.
Neon sign.
All
right, dude. Awesome. It's been awesome sharing with you, and I hope people got to know you a little bit like I do. So appreciate you. You're the first Chondro show. I've got 3 people in mind that are yeses, and you were the first one. So thanks for being gentle. It was my first time.
Absolutely.
We hope you enjoyed it and had a good time. That was the goal.
No, I had a great time.
Dude, hey, we
For
won't
sure.
say, but it was better than last Tuesday. I'll say it. I'll just fucking say it. It's-
Yeah, hey. Welcome to the campfire.
Oh, he won't
Anytime,
say it. Oh,
brother.
he's like, nope.
Anytime.
I'm not saying nothing.
You can't quote me, boy, because I ain't said shit.
But anyway,
All right,
I'm
guys.
gonna go eat dinner
Thanks,
and help
dude.
the kids with homework. But
And
yeah,
keep me in the
meet
loop.
all you guys, thanks for having me on, and hit me up on Instagram.
You
As soon
bet.
as
Have
you
a good
get
night,
that
bud.
deal,
You do.
send photos. I want to see photos when that thing comes out of the box, dude.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy.
Later,
Have a
guys.
good night.
Rad, dude. This was rad.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye. Good seeing you. Thank you.
Thank you. Sam, it was really awesome getting to know you tonight. I hope you had fun. It sounded like you did. Kevin, thanks for sharing. Rich? Oh, Rich is still awake. I thought, oh, man, I love
Rich
this
is still
guy.
up. What's going on, Rich?
Rich. Oh, nice. Yeah, followed up. Yeah, that's where he's at, his IG. Nice job, Exotic. Great questions, Exotic A1. I hope it helps some. I hope, the experience, and we know people like we don't know everything, but we got people we ask all the time to try to learn and get a little smarter. So hopefully, his connections and stuff have helped fill him in, and then we just share that knowledge forward, right?
We just
Thanks,
pull
Jeff.
our
You're the man,
minds and
Jeff.
Figure it out.
Say again, bro.
I said we just pool our collective minds and figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. That is for sure.
Well, I'm about to
Think I
get
got
off
some-
myself, y'all. Thank you for inviting me. Strictly, man. Thanks a lot. I
Thanks,
really-
Kevin. Yeah,
Kevin,
and then like I
hey.
said, on some of these
Thanks
sites,
for hanging out.
Yep. Thank
I'll
you
need-
for having me.
I'll need some help. I never learned how to read, so at some point you'll have to help me with my. We'll have to get on there and co-host some sub lives, and we can just do some of these hangouts and maybe share a 2-screen thing and have some people just cover some of these arboreal species and see where emeralds and green trees overlap and where they diverge. Could be kind of an interesting.
Yeah, I get that question a lot, actually. So I'm in one of my friends' lives a lot, Extreme Serpentine. And, people are always asking questions, and he directs them. Man, Kevin's the guy to ask, and I get that question a lot. So, absolutely.
Yeah, I saw them roll through early on. Yeah, they were commenting and stuff, which was really cool. I know they're like mega big, so that was awesome.
Yeah, I told them I was going to be on the live, and I ended up getting on late, so.
Yeah, well, they got to see me, and I'm better looking, so that's cool.
That works.
I'm messing with you, dog. I'm messing with you. Much love.
Hey, dude, you're right.
Appreciate you.
Y'all have a good one, man.
You too now.
But have a good night.
Bye.
Rich, thanks for hanging in there. I guess everyone minded their manners in the and down below. We didn't have to worry about.
No, we didn't have any
Yeah, I
issues
didn't really, there
whatsoever.
was no
none.
issues, man. Like I was just sitting here painting, just kind of keeping an eye out for everything and checking back in and stuff and listening in. But it was definitely a good one, man. It was a good live. It was definitely a good interactive. Like more people up there in that have knowledge, especially just even the people that we hang out with that have knowledge. You know what I mean? It's nice to be able to grab like maybe 1 or 2, throw them up there so they can also share what their passion is.
Yeah.
I mean, that was definitely a cool part of it.
And I think this species lends itself to it because this community on TikTok is minuscule. I mean, there's like 10 people. It's like it's tiny. On Instagram, that's where all the big players are. So this was a really neat space for this species or anything that's really unique. But I feel like that concept can be a slippery slope if we were to do that with ball python people because it's going to devolve potentially into arguments where
Well, yeah, you got a
no,
lot
that's
of
not
people.
Trick, that's Krypton. No, that's not Krypton, that's Redline. And everyone's gonna like, I just don't want to have gene battles and gene wars. So I feel like ball pythons to have knowledgeable people up, unless it was like we did before with Kyle Hoffman and Bob Vu. Okay, contemporaries, dudes that know what the hell they're talking about. But
Yeah, 100%. Like, I definitely agree with that. You know what I mean? If somebody's just getting into it, you know what I mean? Ball python is that one that a lot of people do have. You know what I mean? Everybody thinks that they have the correct knowledge, but you know what I mean? We're still learning, and we're still learning all that knowledge as well.
yes, sir.
And it'll always be that way. And if you think differently, then you need to really evaluate because things are always changing and we're learning more things about different animals.
Yeah.
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, I feel like in this lifestyle, this hobby, and like a lot of people take it as a career, which it's possible. It's as long as you keep an open mind and you're able to accept that we don't know everything in this, there's always knowledge to be had. And it's really interesting how like through these podcasts, we get together, whether it's jumping in a box or in the comments and asking questions and actually having them answered and put out there. So that way, even if someone else in the chat doesn't know or they're shy to ask, then that way we can also give off the information that we receive it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And that's what I think. That's what I always say about this. Like, that it was Dread's. I will always say this from the get go. Yeah, I do the promos and run my mouth and stuff and get the hype going. But this was Dread's idea. The day one, he brought it to me, and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, let's do that." And so I didn't invent this concept. Actually, Dread did, and I just ran with it and like became addicted and just like, yeah, we're gonna do this and do it right. Let's do something that's not being done on TikTok. And so that's why we're like ride or die homies, because it was a two-headed monster. We're different people, we do different things, but we always do better, no matter if it's just to hang out or like this together. Our lives have always been better together. And so I've done lives for myself and they're freaking terrible. Like no one wants to see. It's way better with a guest and Dread and with people like you're saying to share knowledge with, because it gets your questions going. I know just enough to ask questions and try to figure out what people want to do and just be friendly and fair to everybody. And I think that's the good stuff. That's what's making the show work. Is not that I'm Aussie boy. I know everything about breeding. No, I'm not that guy, and so I don't pretend to be. And the moment I do, that's going to be a disservice.
You just said earlier about trying to do a Bearded Dragon show. You remember probably about 2-3 weeks ago, I sent you a message about that lady's live?
Yes, I do.
Yes. I just, the way she does things, and she's always got Bearded Dragons, everything else like that. And I mean, I know she's not 100% a professional, but I mean, a lot of the stuff she does do, and she does have the information for, she's getting it either right from the vet or she's getting it right from like the specialty veterinarians and stuff.
Does she do like, and I'd only know the fringe tip of the iceberg. Does she do like the color morphs and like there's all these.
I think she's more of like a rehab. So
Okay.
she's got a wall 3 stacks, 4 stacks high of front open, like 40-gallon tanks with juveniles in them and stuff like that. She's got some bigger ones, and she goes through everything from like obviously the delicacy of their food and how what not to feed them, and never mind. She's got Bearded Dragons 10 deep, all hanging out together. But she explains what she's doing, why she's doing it, why she's capable of doing it. But I mean, I've only hung in there a few times. I pop in every once in a while just to see what she's doing. And she's got a huge following, man. Huge.
This has been a busy time because we had the Mills Saturday show, which is unusual. Then our regular Wednesdays. I've
We did
gotten
Celtic on Thursday. That threw us off a little bit.
We had Thursday, Celtic on a Thursday, and then Mills was Saturday right after it, and we've been in a little bit of a tailspin since that short turnaround. I haven't really shared a whole lot. I'm getting everybody settled in, and I've gotten 9 snakes in the last 2.5 weeks, and I got 5 or 6 coming this week in front of me. I got a new rat coming Friday. And so I've had my hands full and changing up my rodent game here at the house a little bit. So between the shows and having Saturday Mill shows, 2 things to promote because there's another one coming. It's been a little bit of a tailspin, so I haven't really done much. I joined an agency, and I'm doing live learning, Zoom meetings and crap, and just trying to educate how to take this to the next level to get somewhere bigger and better. Because it is getting noticed. Hell, you guys, did anybody notice? Anybody left? You're all 9 of you. Did anybody notice Emilio?
Yes.
He didn't just come in.
Yeah.
He gave me a salute, and I talked to him on it. Don't know if you guys noticed it, because I'm in his Patreon group, and we everybody in the group chats all day long. But he don't hardly come through too often, so that was really cool. Someone that runs fucking Trap Talk comes in and hangs out for a second. That's nice. Extreme Serpentines is huge. That was nice. So I'm always flattered.
Oh, definitely.
Big time. But it's been busy. A new rack arrives Friday. Get that baby built. And new snakes come in next week. Get them in there. We'll see. It's been very
You're
busy.
a familiar face, man. Everybody knows who you are now.
Who?
You and Dredd. Like, everybody knows who you are.
Really?
Even when jumping into other groups and stuff like that, I forget what it was. Somebody was asking me a question, and I was like, I actually got the information from Bob Vu's little group that we had. And I said it, I was like, and somebody was like, oh, on Constrictly's page. And I said, yeah, with Constrictly and Dreadnought. And they were like, oh, yeah, we love him. We see him every once in a while and stuff. We try to pop in. And
that's cool.
But you got people that are following other groups that have been following just as well as me following you guys. You know what I mean? Obviously, I have a to me, more of a sense to come to your live than somebody else's live that's going on at the time. But there's going to be other people that think of it in the opposite.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Everybody's got their favorites.
Free market competition. You gotta do. Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate you spending your time with us. Time is valuable. Time, that's so anybody that spends their time with us, I mean, it's as good as money. Someone you're taking time away from life to hang out, even if it's just listening or interacting or anything, it doesn't matter. The fact it's just flattering that people will make time to do that. So that's really cool. And it's always neat. I hear a lot now on YouTube. Oh, I just flicked through YouTube. I saw your shorts on there the other day. I was flipping through and I saw some of your videos pop up and stuff. And I'm like, no doubt, really? Wow. I think it's kind of crazy to see it start having a little bit of reach. It's pretty neat. And honestly, we haven't spent a dime on it. This has all been organic. This has all been grinding. I'm on the phone and texting people and shit all the time. We haven't spent a penny on this. All this stuff I do on myself for free off of my phone. Like, it's crazy. But
just to think of it, like not even a couple of months ago, like I was just posting stuff on Morph Market, getting ready, and posted up the incubator, and boom, ended up over here on TikTok, just kind of hanging out, and now I'm sitting myself with like 1,100 followers and everything else, and everything's just kind of spiraled, but spiraled in a good way.
That's awesome, dude. That's really cool.
I mean, I just posted all the stuff about the restaurant and everything else like that, but I'm at home with the kids, and I'm either hanging out, drawing, painting, trying to sell those, but also obviously taking care of the animals and preparing everything for mine to drop their eggs and stuff. But life's just kind of at a standstill right now.
Rich is the man. Yeah, Jeff, you're right. Yeah, you guys are awesome, dude. That's why I made people mods last night. It wasn't about who I've known the longest, or I think I like the color of their hair, or how much they gift. It wasn't about that. Last night around midnight, and I was working on this idea when I made that post, the people I made mods were the ones that I knew that we got along the best with and who could trust, and that has been there long term. It doesn't mean like, oh, you sit there every second on bated breath. I don't need you to kiss my ass. It's about being solid people that I know we can bounce an honest opinion off of, and that'll have our back, and vice versa. And that's the people I picked as mods, was
absolutely
people that I knew weren't going. I don't mean not going anywhere. Like, okay, you're busy this week, you're sick. I don't mean like not go. I don't mean you got to come in every show. I just mean not go anywhere as far as camaraderie and, lack of a better word, brotherhood. Trust, whether they're a guy or a gal, trustworthiness. Just the fact that we got each other's backs, and so that's who I picked as moderators, just to kind of diversify that task. Having somebody dedicated to the role and really working out and asking other people to do work on the promos and stuff isn't always fair to other people. Their lives are busy too. So I just buckle down and take it on and surround myself with good people like you guys. So, and Dread, can't leave Dread out. He's all right too.
I mean, I took it as like it was more one of those things. It's a pride thing, and just to even be thought about and even to be put in that situation, and I mean, is fantastic. I mean, I enjoy what you guys do. I think honestly,
don't read too much into it, Rich. I was
sleepy.
I probably made a mistake. I take it back.
But I think the reptile industry, like, it needs it. You got a lot of people that have all this knowledge that are just keeping it to themselves, or they have their little groups, and being able to take all these different groups and kind of smash them into one and have that information be spread as far as possible for the animals. Like, that's the biggest part of it, is that a lot of people some people may be missing it, or may be missing the point, is like, this is all about the animals. And if you're not thinking about that, then you've lost track of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's why it was all brought up, Rich. That's why I talked to Constrictly about this. Do something different, right? Bring the knowledge to the table that's not getting out there. Maybe clear up a lot of these myths, and just false information, right? We don't know everything. Again, we're learning. But there are these reputable, reptile keepers that do know a lot better, right? And can clarify stuff up. So, people can be on the right track and just educate and just have fun with it, This isn't the end all be all, obviously, but we're doing our best to bring correct information and good people out here, to the table, right? To show everybody. And Constrictly's doing a hell of a job, 1,000%, right? I couldn't have done this by there's no way. There's no way. He's the man. He's the man. I'm telling you, dude. So we appreciate all y'all, right?
I got my free shirt. I won thanks to Irresistible ball pythons. I got my U.S. Ark shirt in the mail. It's nice, comfy. It's heather blue. I didn't have any of that color, so I got lucky. And it's got a giant axolotl on the back. And my daughter is going to try to steal it when she sees it. I guarantee.
My
it.
kid's obsessed with axolotl, so
Yeah.
I refuse to get one.
No, don't get one.
No, I'm all set.
Can you see it?
Trying to save themselves.
I tell
big
him all the
giant
time.
smiley.
I want an axolotl, so I draw him one and put it on his bed. So he wakes up in the morning. There's your axolotl. Leave me alone.
Right.
Yeah, Tanya, we appreciate you coming through. I do live hangouts a couple of times a week where we just same thing here. We're just hanging out. But we like to get a topic of conversation going as well, you know, to help people troubleshoot right their animals. Maybe their animals or ball python is not eating, or something's up with their boa or their whatever, bearded dragon or whatever it is you have. We try to do that show, you know, to have fun as well, but we like it when we have stuff to talk about and troubleshoot, because somebody's always coming through that probably has some good advice, you know, and can give you that answer if we don't have it. And just have fun with it. You know, that's kind of where it all started, just hanging out and growing a community and making friends. And then this just kind of matured from that.
Ravens Royals, you want a U.S. Ark shirt so bad. I'll tell you how I got mine. Dumb luck. Irresistible ball pythons. They are tightly in cahoots with Hair Down Fridays, Wiz and Keys, that are in the V Unit clique, and I know them. I've talked to Keys on the phone some for some advice since he's growing his podcast so much. I've talked to him and picked his brain a little bit about some growing pains. And Irresistible ball pythons, just spell it like it sounds. They're on Instagram, the best way. The wife, it's a husband-wife duo. She has a giveaway every month where you get it's $40 for the year for the bronze membership, which gets you a T-shirt, which is what most people want, and it's a year membership for $40. Well, they buy it. There's not a dime. You give her once you win. I got a post on my page from whatever 3-4 weeks ago when I won. I never win anything ever. So it was really cool, and she'll get your name and info and email if you win, and then screenshots you the login, and then you just go and log in and do your thing. And you should ask your shirt size. You have no control over the color or type. They send you whatever they grab. But that's how I got mine. So I've got a year membership that I actually won as a gift from them. So Irresistible ball pythons. They're on TikTok too, but mostly IG and YouTube. So definitely check them out.
We got a question coming through. IDR Thomas is asking, are we ever going to bring fish people up, or is it just snakes? It is not always snakes.
You know,
we'll say that. It's not always snakes. It's spiders and
something weird has happened to my friends lately, like not in a bad way. I have gotten a ton of fish people suggested to me lately, and I followed a bunch of them. I did saltwater aquariums for a decade.
Huge community that I end up seeing all over the place for coral, saltwater, everything else like that. I mean, they're massive. You go into one of their lives, and you're looking at 120 people looking at a fish tank.
Yeah.
Well, let's consider it to do some type of, you know, saltwater something, a show. Definitely, I don't see why not. I mean,
it's honestly everything about animals. Like, you even have what is that guy, the dog fucking god or whatever his name is? You see him on TikTok too, having his little talks with the dogs and everything else. Like, there's people that are rescuing cats. Like, it's crazy how many different things are out there.
I don't know that I can do crazy cat people. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think so either. Like, I think that would be a wild show.
Yeah.
I don't know if any good, but
you know, with fish, tropical fish could be cool, you know, like that, something crazy down the line.
You got other stuff like that are more than just tropical fish, you know what I mean? You got mollusks and everything else. You got mantis shrimp, and you got axolotls. You got all kinds of different animals that, I mean, kind of do cross through that kind of threshold, man.
Yeah, we've done amphibians. We had a dart frog guy. I know we've done a tarantula guy, invertebrate. We'll have more of them. And you guys, I don't really talk about it a lot, but I did commercial aquarium installation and reef keeping maintenance for a decade, 5 years in St. Louis and 5 years in Tampa, Clearwater, St. Pete. I started the Bass Pro Shop tank, which is the size of a school bus when it was brand new. We didn't install it, of course. In St. Louis Bass Pro Shop, I started that tank brand new. I put the fish in with Missouri Game and after, Missouri Game and Fish. I did Anheuser-Busch, August Busch, the younger guy on TV that would be in the commercials years ago. I've been to his house many times. I mean, I took care of the aquariums in the fancy part of the ice rink in the stadium in the Tampa Lightning back when they won it all in 05. I was doing the aquariums.
Oh, that was you they told me about to be careful of?
That's right, baby. They called me Hat Trick. They called me in a closet with those two custodian girls once. They called me Hat Trick, you know?
One more, it would have been a hat trick.
So there was, I did aquariums for a long time, bro. A decade, commercially, professionally, on the road. I became the GM of a company when I was 27, and I had 5 dudes. It wasn't just like some podunk shit. The owner moved away and let me take care of it for him. And I had 5 guys full time on the road that were all way older than me. I was 27, so I did aquariums for a decade. We could do aquarium shows. I am out of touch. So I would have antiquated questions, but I think that could be kind of funny in a way, actually, to see where it's evolved to.
Boa constrictors and panthers can.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out, and if I see any of those kind of like floating around, then I mean I'll pop in and throw out the question if anybody's interested. But
I got a bunch of people to work
well.
leads on. I don't want to open the floodgates because it makes me it's potential that I look rude if I'm like, no, thank you. So I try. All I gotta say is just proceed.
I work in a restaurant. I mean, I can read people, I can read crowds, and I know when to sit back and just kind of let people play their little game and stuff like that. I mean, and if I see somebody that may be a good interest, I'll shoot a message over to you so you can pop in and check them out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's out of the realm. Dredd, you like the idea, huh?
But this was the main name change.
Dredd is muted. So yeah, I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm not. Yeah, I'm on board with it, man. If it's something right, like what you're saying, we vet them out and see.
We are.
Go from
work on the
Hey, the
schedule
worst that
with them.
happens is we say we did it. You know what I mean? We said we did reef. We said we did saltwater or anything specialty like that. Hey, we've crossed that path already. Nothing is beyond our reach when it comes to the threshold. Hey, if it's worth it on both ends to both communities, then we'll do it. And you can always phrase it that way. I just don't think it seemed to fit our situation jointly. And people will understand that. Not everybody's gonna work. I mean, you're in the limelight. Not everybody can go famous and still or be able to be up on top of the screen. Never mind, some people just don't even realize it.
Yeah.
I'm no good in live, but I'll pop in somebody else's live show a little bit and then all right, cool, I'm done.
Yeah. I'm no good at lives either. It's all Dredd. Dredd makes me the man I am.
because you deserve. You are.
Every day I'm hustling, baby. It's a grind. I'm telling you, dude. I spend.
I'll stroke your ego like something else.
I spend a good 20 hours plus a week doing all this stuff. I'm not even exaggerating. Between the phone calls and the messages and and the promos and the scheduling and making more promos and more videos and oh my god. I'm outside the house 60 hours a week with work. I have my daughter every weekend, and then I do this 20, 25 hours easy just to get this stuff to go. So it's not for nothing. It's a job.
Well, if you notice anything that I can help you with, and I'm always here, man.
Hey, dude, you already do it. That's why I made you guys mods. Is just share. You see posts and share, like promos especially. Hey, if you see people, hey, check out this show next week on Wednesday at 7. Come check this out. We're going to be talking about insert animal name here. Whatever you want. Like just sharing and getting more people to come through. It still baffles me, and I don't know why, and I'm not mad about it, but there's like stupid ass lives, and they'll have 150, 300 people in the lobby watching, and I'm like, what?
They're paying for that.
Oh, really?
They're promoting. They're using the promote part of it, paying like the $12 per month or whatever, and what they do is they go live. Within the first couple of minutes of them going live, it literally will just flood people in there that are scrolling through the live. TikTok
That's why I
will
see it
reroute them
plummet.
into it. Yeah. And then they slowly come down like Shinkle does it. Shinkle Exotics. You go into his, he's got hundreds, 200 people, 300 people in there, but you'll notice it'll just blow up to that much, and then it'll slowly start dropping down.
Huh.
Wow. Okay.
So then, don't even sweat it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like those. That's just you're getting. They're getting people from all over the place. He has his wife moderating, and you got people saying random stuff like throwing out phrases about DIDY and everything else, and he's having to deal with all that stuff. I mean, Rhonda's in there too. I'm in there with Rhonda half the time, and I'm just hanging out doing the same thing, kind of watching them, and he'll have the same stuff, the same question over and over and over again. Is it venomous? And is there venom? Is there venom? Is it? I mean, and it's like the same thing. You get random people that have no idea what they're looking at, no interest in it whatsoever, ask their little comment, throw their 2 cents in, and then they leave.
Huh. That explains why I hop in and I'm like, how do they got 300 people? How they got 500 people? And then I check and I look back in a minute and it's like 36. And I'm like, what happened? I didn't understand that.
Yep, it's them paying for it, and TikTok reroutes it, unloads everybody that's scrolling on them for that moment, and he's going live for an hour, hour and a half, so it generates quite a bit while he's doing it.
Oh.
I mean, I don't think
I'm not about to
really
do
need
that.
go
I
to
understand
that
organic, and I love our followers. Like, we hold a room. Like, since week 1, guys, we have like, when it says there's 25 people in there, it don't dip down to 5. It barely gets below 18 at best, and then it's back up to 35. Like, we can kind of watch the number, and when it stays at a number in the 25, 30 range, or the 40, 50 range, with the show, whatever the show topic person happens to be, it'll stay humming at that level. It doesn't dip up and down real wildly. And like Spood Lover, we were holding 50, 60. Pat with Graceful Serpents, we were what? Up to 80, 81, 82, but
Yeah.
mainly around 70 something.
Yeah, both those people have huge followings, so you got to think. You know what I mean? It's our 20 to 30 people we have on top of his 30 people. I mean, and then same thing with the reptile one. I mean, honestly, seeing some of the stuff that Shinkle has to deal with in that situation, I don't think it's worth it, man. Like I said, you're dealing with people that don't really care. We want the people that care. We want the people
So
that
you're just
want
throwing a
them.
wide net, hoping somebody stumbles in and goes, oh, wow, I secretly love this. I found the perfect live. And then they stay. But that really doesn't happen but 1 out of 1,000 folks. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, he'll have, I would say maybe to 100 to 100, like 60 to 100. And you'll have quite a few people that will like throw out stuff and the same thing, but it's like it's a rotating thing. So as his live's going, he has just a revolving door of people just flooding in and out, asking the same questions, and they're not reading comments. So it's more like annoying interactive. Like you can tell he gets frustrated with it sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, Kevin, yours is different though. I think that's why you actually were on you told me you never seen a reptile show in the feed, for you feed, and that's how you found us. It wasn't like you got drawn in, because I could have been like selling a pyramid scheme of Avon from home, like some Susie Homemaker or something, which seems to be very popular.
Yes,
so
very, very popular.
Something else to
merch giveaways and pulls people in and gets people talking. Yeah, that's coming.
I'm going to be doing a giveaway. Constrictly and I are going to get together on that. Some type of giveaway and a waffle, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. I gotta finish.
Are you gonna be making your own merch, or y'all gonna do a third party?
My merch?
Yeah, y'all gonna make it on your own, or y'all gonna go through like a third party?
Yeah, I got someone local here that I can get some of my stuff from. I gotta finish working with a graphic designer and pay them off and get what I need there, because I need to get my logo right before I even make stickers. I don't want a half-assed thing. So
Yeah,
No,
Mrs.
I gotta
Mrs.
finish that
Gregg
up.
doing the same over here, getting this all lined out to who's going to start making shirts and stuff.
You understand I'm an artist, right?
That's
Like
neat.
every time you guys have these shows, I sit here and paint or draw or.
Oh yeah, but I need someone that's I need a unless are you a Adobe Illustrator Master Wizard, because that's what I need. I need that
I
clean.
mean, I
vector
do
raster.
everything. Like I have my tablet and all that other stuff. I have my artist app, so the pen and everything, so I can do everything on there. A lot of the stuff I like to do is freehand, and then what I'll do is I'll take a picture of it, I'll go through it, I'll zoom in really, really tight, and I'll fix all my lines and everything. And then from there, I can send it anywhere.
Gotcha.
Okay. So could you fix my Dreadnought Pythons logo to make that something I could really make some cool stickers and merch with?
Yeah, I mean, I just
Yeah,
gotta
vector.
get. I'll reach out to your message and I'll throw my email address and you can send it to me that way. And then from there, I can upload it immediately and actually take the design itself, blow it up on my computer, and then from there, I can just put anything behind it. I can grab any image and add it to it. So, I mean, there's honestly the possibilities are just.
My boy, I think they made this for me on Canva or something, and we can't. It's hard to get the format we need to get the sticker quality right. You know, for whatever reason, whatever they did, just trying to learn this. So anything that I could get better, that I could take in and have logos or banners made, would definitely be better. It could be improved on. So I'm not opposed, dude. I'm not opposed at all to letting you come up with something kick ass.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. I know.
So, like,
giveaway.
So like when you try to move it over to the like to make stickers and everything, it comes out like all boxy and like glitchy, so to speak.
Just that format. I got some stickers made, but I just don't like the way they look. They're just not clean like I want.
I know what you mean. It doesn't have like that high def look, just sort of like the blurred out
Kinda,
look. Like
yeah, kind of. I couldn't. Yeah, they really don't show good on the camera if I showed them. I don't know. It just like the pixel quality is just not there to.
That's that vector, like Jeff mentioned. You need a vector image because it can scale and move to all sizes without degrading.
If you take an image, honestly, a lot of people use their like computers and generate like the image and stuff like that, and sometimes the quality ends up being missed.
See, like this right here. This is
You're
it.
going-
I mean,
You're going from the quality of what the computer can produce. So when you try to send it over, you have to change sometimes that quality to send it into a JPEG. And when you change it into that, you mess with that image in general. So
Right.
that's why I like taking the image, drawing it on paper first, getting that image to fit perfectly of the size that I want it. So if you want a sticker that's 2 inches by 2 inches, I'll draw it that small on a piece of paper. Then I'll blow it up, fix all my lines, and then I'll shrink it all back down into that size and send it to you in that size. Now you just got to take that and say, hey, I want a copy of it. It's all measured out. Like it's the exact same size, the exact size I want my pictures. And you just
Right.
take that and send it to them.
that makes sense because I think that's what kind of happened with this when they
When
started.
you start growing it, shrinking it, you
Yeah, when they
mess with
started
that image
changing
like
that size,
crazy.
it was just distorting everything, and you can't really see Dreadnought Pythons in it.
Yeah.
It's really light. I mean, they're okay for now, you know, but
We're gonna start doing some battles too. I gotta go. It's already going on 10:30 here. I still gotta eat and I gotta work again in the morning. But we're gonna do some battles too, guys. So throw that out there. Which I guess you need people like if I go live and do a battle, then there's also two versus two. So me and Dredd are always been best together than by ourselves, both of us. And so we may do like try to find 2 versus 2 battles. I don't know all the answers yet. All I know is apparently doing battles is important, and I've watched many of them and seen people just get decimated by like JTK reptiles. And there's some girl with like a million
JCK's
followers.
always on. That's why
that dude is on all the time. And then he's
Yeah.
got that pet store down there, just right in the LA area. I mean, he's got a
Long Beach,
big
yeah.
support. He's got a big crowd that just
But
hangs
I've
out.
watched people like battle him, and it's not even that complicated. And it's just anyhow. I've been MVP on his battles. I've gone in there and won them for him and stuff. So it's just, I did that today for someone that's in the agency I'm in, and just to try to check. I'm just trying to learn more about it, and apparently
And
that's
I was
something
told to
it.
get into an agency. just because of the fact that I told him I was
from
like,
what
I'm
I
going to do my own
understand,
live. But... Go ahead.
Agencies are tough unless you're going to be doing a lot of lives, and I mean like 7 lives, 15 hours a month. Like it needs to be in a realm. You got to be doing a lot of them. You've got to have a person. It doesn't do a lot for just starting out unless you're really going to be doing a lot of lives, and I wouldn't be at all if it wasn't for this show. I'm just not that interesting on my own.
I just know that when I go back to the restaurant, I'm going to be doing lives. Like I'll be breaking down, obviously, all the meat, all the seafood and stuff that we have, and doing all
that
my
would
cutting.
play well.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'd like to have a GoPro and watch. Basically, you can just hang out with me while I'm sitting there running around, basically telling people what to do to get through the night and fixing problems in situations.
Yeah.
I already have the okay from the restaurant. It's just waiting till we get busy. But every 4 years, we deal with, obviously, the election, and it always affects the restaurants. They're slow all the way until the end of it.
Interesting. Right on. Well, that's some stuff we got going on for sure. Battles coming up. Some other hangouts. You know, Dread's gonna start a Discord called the Dreadcord.
The Dread Naughties or something. I don't know. We'll come up with something.
Dreadcord. Come on, man.
The naughty Dreadcord.
Have a good night, Jeff. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Other people say
So we're gonna do a Discord. That's gonna be Dread's baby.
start.
I'm gonna try to figure out some battles and stuff like that. So that's what's up.
Hold on, Phil. Exotic. What are you saying, bud?
From what we've been told, what you want to do is you want to promote the battles the weeks leading up to it, so that way you have more people seeing like your stories and your posts that you're going to be having battles. So that way it's sort of catching other eyes. So that way when you go battle, you have more viewers in your live to help you win that battle. And that's why some of these people, they win the battles like by astronomical numbers, because they have sort of like that lead up to it, sort of like when you're watching a TV show and then you got to tune in next week for the next episode. So you want to like really like promote the live, like, oh, we're gonna do battle this day, and
Dude.
that sort of helps in a way.
Dude, Dread, we'll roll 15 to 30 deep, no problem. But if we do battle like you and me together versus 2 other people, between your hangout people and the ones that we have overlap and the show people, like we'll have 20, 30
Well, I
people.
hope so. That'd be cool. That'd be cool if we could.
Easy.
I don't know. That'd be super awesome. I'm down to try any of it.
I don't have a lot of hope. I don't know. I'm just gonna go do it and see what it's like. I don't know. It's supposed to help grow. Yeah. So who cares? I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, have a good night. We get what?
Knock it till you
about
try it.
46. 46.
That's what I would say. Don't knock it till you try it. Go big or go home.
Good night, Tanya. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you. So, let me know if you can do anything. Shoot me a DM. I'll try to help if I can. Exotic, dude. Thanks again, bro, for awesome questions and stuff tonight. Participating. I really appreciate you. That was very helpful to keep things moving and interesting.
I'm glad to help out. I felt like it was a good way to interact and bring questions that I felt like weren't being asked, so that way we could all sort of get something out of it.
Yes.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Sometimes that's the best stuff. I've even had people that already know the answer, but they're just being like polite, and they'll be in the comments. Well, what about this? And it's because they can see the other questions are kind of rudimentary, but it spurs the conversation and keeps things rolling, and it is super helpful. It keeps us from just kind of like always needling the guest. It comes from different people from different voices, and that helps so much. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you big time.
It keeps them more real and more anytime.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you big time.
It keeps them more real and anytime. I appreciate it, man. Thank you big time. It keeps them more
And on that echo, good night, guys. All right, I love you, dude. See ya.